Texas Rangers baseball is presented by AT&T UVerse TV. And we are back indoors here at Minute Maid Park in Houston. The Saturday night affair a little bit earlier this evening. Rangers hoping to snap their mini three-game losing streak in the middle game of this three-game series. And welcome in, everyone, along with Mark McLemore, Steve Busby. Glad you could join us for this Saturday night of Ranger baseball. Should be a dandy this evening. A couple of veteran right-handers going. The Rangers, as we said, trying to snap that losing streak. They're turning the ball to a man who has had good success in this ballpark, and that would be Colby Lewis, Mac.
Yeah, I'd say he's had some success here in this ballpark. Colby Lewis is that veteran pitcher that the Rangers can rely on to go out and have a quality start and get them deep into the ball game, especially against this Astros ball team in Houston. He's got tremendous numbers. In 12 games, he's 6-1 career with a 1.85 ERA. And in Houston alone, at Minute Maid Ballpark, he's 5-0 with a microscopic 1.1 ERA in the 7 games he's pitched here at Minute Maid. So this is a guy the Rangers are very comfortable sending out to the ballpark or to the mound at Minute Maid.
And hopefully they'll get another 15 hits tonight as they did last night and score a few more runs than the 2 they had last night. We'll be back with more from Minute Maid Park right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Ford dealer. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer to kick off the summer right. Ford is the best in Texas. Buy AT&T UVerse TV. UVerse has more live TV channels on the go than cable. Buy Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home. And buy Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. A gorgeous evening here in Houston. A little warm outside, very comfortable indoors. And before we get things underway, let's set it down and check in with John Radigan.
Yeah, Buzz, as you've mentioned, we are celebrating the 80s tonight with the throwback uniforms, the throwback jerseys, lots of fans in their 80s garb. Colby Lewis was actually born in 1979, so when you've reached your mid-30s, you're chock full of experience.
Some of the younger guys, I think that do a little more dwelling on, bad outings or bad days. I think, with experience and when you do it this long, that I think it's easier just to, forget and move on, and you're going to have the ball in 5 days and not really dwell about it,
And, of course, last time out, Colby Lewis had a great outing, but the team didn't wind up winning the game. He'll shake it off no matter what it was. That is one of the things that experience has taught him. Colby Lewis will get the ball for the Rangers. It'll be former Ranger Scott Feldman on the hill for the Astros when we come back with the starting lineups and the first pitch of tonight's game live from Minute Maid Park on Fox Sports Southwest.
The Powder Blues will snap them out of that 3-game losing streak that they bring into play here this evening. Last night, kind of a tough evening, 15 base hits, but only 2 runs to show for it. And hopefully tonight, with Colby Lewis on the mound, they'll get that output back up a little bit. Now, Colby tonight will face the Houston Astros. Scott Feldman on the hill for Houston, facing his former club. And now let's give it over to Mark McLemore, who'll tell you about the Southwest Airlines Texas Rangers starting lineup.
Leading off for the Rangers, Lionel DeShields playing center field. Odor will hit second and play second. Prince Fielder's the DH. He'll hit third. Adrian Beltre is the cleanup hitter, playing third base. Mitch Moreland's going to be at first base, batting fifth. Josh Hamilton back in left field, hitting sixth. Elvis Andrews is the shortstop, hitting seventh. Shin Soo Choo in right field, batting eighth. And Robinson Chirinos will do the catching tonight.
And that lineup will be tasked with facing the 32-year-old right-hander Scott Feldman from Burlingame, California. Scooter, of course, former Ranger, spent the first 8 years of his major league career in Texas, and is the opening day starter for the Rangers after being a 17-game winner for Texas. So he will get the ball tonight for the Astros. Scott just coming back off the disabled list. He had to have knee surgery on his right knee toward the tail end of May, and he is just now getting back into the rotation. He was activated today by the Astros, and here's a scouting report for Scott Feldman. A cut fastball and a curveball. Those are his 2 main pitches. Now, as we said, he has been out since the 29th of May, and command could be an issue tonight. We talked about it last night with Martin Perez, the long layoff, and don't care how you prepare for it, you still have to get back into commanding the fastball to both sides of the plate and be able to throw the breaking ball for a strike. And sometimes that command can be off a little bit until you get back into the groove of things. So we'll see how Scott Feldman is able to handle that tonight against his former team in the Texas Rangers. Rangers come in losers of 3 consecutive ball games. They are 42 and 47. Take a look at the Astros defense behind Feldman this evening. Preston Tucker in left field, Jake Marisnik in center, Colby Rasmus in right. John Singleton gets the start at first. Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa up the middle. Luis Valbuena is the third baseman, and Hank Conger gets the start behind the plate, catching Scott Feldman. Rangers 42 and 47. They are 7 games now behind the Los Angeles Angels in the AL West, and they are 6.5 games behind these Astros for that second wild card spot. Rangers still have the advantage in the Silver Boot Series against Houston this year. They are 4 and 3 against the Astros, 3 and 1 in this ballpark. And we'll take a look at the AL West standings, brought to you by DirecTV. Get those up in just a second for you. The Western Division all of a sudden morphing into a 2-team race with the Astros and the Angels. Angels, one of the hottest teams in baseball. Jeff Bannister's club knows that they have their hands full trying to catch the Angels, and Rangers, fortunately for them, have a chance to take on the Angels the 3 final games of this road trip. After the 2 games left here in Houston, then 3 more in Colorado, and then out to Anaheim next weekend to take on the Angels. Now getting set to start things off, Delano DeShields will step in to begin things. Delano, a .271 hitter, no home runs, and 12 driven in. Feldman rocks to the wind and deals. The first pitch of the night is in for strike 1. DeShields last night 2 for 5. He has been getting on base with pretty good regularity for the Rangers at the top of the order. Is their cut fastball, and Feldman quickly out in front, 0-2. Delano, since getting back into the lineup 7 games ago, has gone 7 for 25. That's a .280 average. Another cut fastball, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Scott Feldman, folks will tell you, especially the statistically inclined people, that nobody throws more curveballs or cutters than Scott Feldman as far as a percentage of the number of pitches he throws. That one just missed the outside corner. That was the 2-seam fastball. And Feldman just missing with that one, according to Tony Randazzo, the home plate umpire.
That's a tough pitch to take. But DeShields is very comfortable no matter what the count is. He's going to wait until he can get something a little bit better to hit.
And low and outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Delano making an attempt to get on base to start things off here tonight. Odor will be next. Feldman with a payoff pitch. Lost him. Well, a good at bat to begin the ball game for Delano DeShields, coaxing a walk out of Scott Feldman.
You know, as we talk about quality starts by pitchers, that was a quality at bat by Delano DeShields, falling behind Scott Feldman 0-2, and then working a walk out of it. Took a couple of close pitches. They were balls, but that's what you call a quality at bat, especially to lead off the ball game.
Right. So 1 on, nobody out, and Odor will step to the plate. Odor now hitting at .251. This is as high as he has been all year long with that batting average. And a bunt, and it's a good one. Nobody is at first base. It's going to turn into a base hit. Singleton came down and fielded the ball, was coming up to throw to first. The only one there was Odor, and he was going the other way. A bunt base hit. What was going to be a sacrifice turns into an infield single.
Great idea, great execution by Odor. You know they've got to get something going. You put down that bunt, it's either going to be a hit or a sacrifice. You get your runner, your leadoff guy to second base. Singleton came in, and as soon as that first baseman leaves the bag, it's pretty much a done deal. That first baseman has to stay at the bag in order to give the pitcher or the second baseman a chance to make a play.
Now here's Prince Fielder. And first ball swinging, it is popped up. Shallow right field. Infield fly rule is in effect as Carlos Correa puts it away. And that is a huge out, number one, as Fielder goes out on the first pitch from Feldman. Well, Feldman coaxing an all-important pop-up on the first pitch to Prince Fielder. Prince went up there. Prince has had pretty good success against Feldman in the previous matchups. Gone 4 for 13 prior to that, so he probably had a pretty good idea what he was going to see and got it, just popped it up. No, one gone. Here's Adrian Beltre now. Still runners at first and second, one away. Beltre hit the ball sharply 4 times last night. Had a couple of hits. Adrian just 7 for 33 in the matchups against Feldman in his career. That's a .212 average, but he does have 1 home run, has driven in 6. And Adrian Beltre and the...
That's a good one.
That is. That's a good look on Adrian. That looks pretty 80s, too. That's good. In the dirt. Nice stop by Hank Conger. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
Played with some guys with that haircut.
Yeah. Not quite Oscar Gamble, but it's getting there.
I think he's got a few feet to go.
Feldman, that belt high set, a check of the runners. 1 ball, 1 strike. They're going to have a good time with that, I think, for everybody here at the ballpark tonight. The 80s night, the throwback uniforms. Astros, of course, wearing the rainbow uniforms that they sported in the late 70s and early 80s. In the dirt, 2 balls and a strike. Well, Scott Feldman, I'm sure, went out to the mound thinking, if I have a good, quick first inning, it'll settle me down very nicely. The Rangers are not going to allow that to happen. And it started with a very good walk drawn by Delino to Shields, then a bunt base hit from Odor. And that pitch is a belt high strike, 2-2. And sitting right behind home plate, man that wore those rainbow colors for a number of years down here in Houston, Nolan Ryan and his wife Ruth. Nolan, of course, a consultant for the Astros now. His oldest son Reed is the team president. Good to see Nolan and Ruth out at the ballpark. This is seems like the place where they are most comfortable.
Yeah, it does. You know, typically it's just nice seeing Nolan out here. You know, we were talking about it a little bit yesterday. Just to have that kind of influence around a ball club is great to have.
Yep.
I mean, it's invaluable information that he's got. It's just tremendous. I love seeing that.
2-2 pitch. Shot to first. Singleton has it. The second they get 1. That's all they're going to get. And sliding in Odor, up-ending Altuve just to make sure he couldn't get off a throw. The crowd didn't appreciate that, but it was a good job by Odor to make sure that there was not going to be a play at any other base.
Singleton gets it, he clears himself and makes a good throw. And Altuve tries to get out of the way. Odor goes to get him. He's around the bag, so in my mind, that's clean. As a second baseman or shortstop, it's your responsibility to clear yourself from that bag. So if you don't, and a guy comes in there and gets you, if you're not expecting it, it's pretty much your own fault.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Odor didn't exactly roll into him or anything. That was not the intent of that one. So runners at the corners now with 2 outs. Here's Mitch Moreland. Moreland, big night last night, 3 hits. And he takes that big curveball in for strike 1. Mitch, the team leader with 16 home runs. He is second on the club with 46 runs driven in. And 2 out of 9 in his career is Mitch Moreland against Scott Feldman. Astros in an extreme overshift with Moreland at the plate. The entire left side of the infield, save about 10 feet right down the line, is wide open. And it looked like Mitch was trying to take the ball that way, and Feldman pulled the string, had him out in front just a little bit.
Like a little two-seamer running away from Mitch a little bit. Tried to stay on it, but just nipped it off the end of the bat.
Yeah, you'll have to trust this. With all the sunlight filtering through, it's hard to pick out the defenders. There are 3 of them on the right side of the diamond. Valbuena, the third baseman, only about 10 feet from the bag. So that entire shortstop area wide open for Moreland if he can take one that way. And he pulls it on the ground. Correa up with it, and a little flip to first. That'll do it. Well, Feldman does a pretty good job of working around a walk and a base hit. 2 are stranded. We've finished a half inning. Rangers nothing. Astros coming up. Astros come to bat, and here's Mac to tell you about the Astros lineup.
All right, Jose Altuve will lead off and play second base. Preston Tucker's in left to bat second. Carlos Correa, the shortstop, will bat third. Evan Gattis will be the DH and hit cleanup today. Luis Valbuena will bat fifth and play third base. Colby Rasmus will bat sixth and be in right field. Catching tonight, Hank Conger batting seventh. John Singleton, the first baseman, will bat eighth. And Jake Pariznik will play center and bat ninth.
And that is the lineup that will face the 35-year-old right-hander Colby Lewis. Colby pitching in a building that is very comfortable for him. He has never been defeated down here as a starting pitcher. Rangers need to up the run support back to what Colby's used to. They're averaging about 6 3/4 runs every time Colby takes the hill. And that would be a monumental output for the way the offense is going right about now.
Yeah, that would be. That's asking a lot right now, but they're capable of it.
They are.
15 hits in last night's ball game, just a couple of runs. So really, when you get that many guys out there on the bases, they're just 1 or 2 hits away from turning their fortunes around.
Yeah. Now 15 hits, the most hits they've had in the ball game in better than a month last night, but only 2 runs. And that's a little difficult to work with. Jose Altuve finds himself down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And I think that's one of the Ninja Turtles. I've forgotten that one of the teenage Ninja Turtles. Forgotten which one that is supposed to look like, but sure if I...
Altuve.
Yeah.
They got a new one.
Well, that mutant Ninja Turtle can hit.
Yes, it can.
Went right back up the middle. Goodness gracious. Well, Altuve aboard with a leadoff single. Let's take a look at the Ranger defense. It's delivered to you tonight by Break Check. Outfield with Hamilton in left, DeShields in center. Chu is in right. Moreland at first, Odor and Andrews up the middle. Beltre at third, Robinson, Chirinos behind the plate once again, and Colby Lewis is on the hill tonight. Well, Altuve rolling a base hit to center field. He's aboard with nobody out. Preston Tucker now will step in. Altuve, I want to remind you, didn't try a stolen base last night, but he is the league leader. 25 of them this year. That is very much a big part of the Astros offense. You get Altuve on and have him start running wild on the base paths. It sets the tone for the rest of the guys. Tucker at 254, average 5 home runs, 21 driven in. That ball's hit well to center field. DeShields retreating, reaches up, and hauls it in. Nice play by Delino DeShields, who looked to have that measured the entire way. And a nice play on the ball hit right over his head.
That's a great play. That's the toughest play for a center fielder or even any outfielder, actually, the ball that's hit directly over your head, because you really can't get a beat on how hard it's hit, what angle it's going to take, if it's going to hook or if it's going to slice. But Delino was right on it from the jump, from the crack of the bat. Got a great read, kept his eye on it the whole way, and knows this ballpark. Huge center field out there, so he didn't have to worry about a wall or even the hill out there.
Well, nice play by DeShields. 1 out now. Carlos Correa is the next hitter. First pitch from Colby is in for strike 1. Correa, the 20-year-old shortstop. Got 20 years old. Won't be 21 until September. We've got some young players in this game tonight.
Not just young.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah. Altuve, a bluff move to second. Correa taking it. And it's strike two. Correa coming up. We talked a little bit last night about the numbers that he's put up already. This is 34th game. He has 7 home runs and 20 RBI. Last 8 ball games, a little bit of a downturn. Maybe going around the league the first full time. Things catching up with him a little bit. The video scouting kicking in some. And I think back at, it probably is about the time, about a month into your career, when it starts to be a grind. The newness of being a major leaguer has kind of sunken in, and now it's a job that you go to every day, and things can kind of mount up on you, can't they?
Yeah, they can. You know, it's that new shiny thing being in the big league starts to wear off, and now it's an everyday thing, and you got to do it over and over. The hype's not so big as it was when you first got here, and you've got to figure out, hey, I've got to make my adjustments because, like you said, that video scouting is there. You've got advanced scouts in the stands watching, and they're seeing what he hits well, and what he doesn't, and that gets passed on to the next team. So, you know, I try to not get too excited and tell people not to get too excited when you see a guy come up and have success right away. That's great because it's a confidence builder, but they're going to come back down to earth because the league, this is the big leagues. You're facing major league pitchers every day. It's going to happen. They're going to find that weakness that you have, and they're going to exploit it to the best of their ability and force that hitter to make an adjustment at the plate.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count. There goes Altuve. The throw is late. Altuve in with a stolen base, his 26th of the year. Looked like almost a delayed steal by Altuve. Either that or he didn't get a real good jump. But it was successful, and he is in scoring position.
Yeah, I just don't think he got a great jump. You know, the technical side of it for me is what I see when a guy steals, stealing a base, and he just got up in the air, really quickly, and that slows you down a step or so. So, but the bottom line is he got there, he was safe.
No, 2-2 now. The count to Correa. And time called. Correa, as you saw, a .275 average. Was 1 for 4 last night, driving in his 20th run of the year. Pretty good with runners in scoring position so far. 367. And this one is popped up shallow right. On comes Chu, makes the call and the catch. And Odor making sure he gets out of the way. 2 gone.
Great play by Chu out there in right field, knowing that Odor is up the middle a little bit and in, trying to hold Altuve and keep him close at second base. Chu came in about 20, 30 feet off the infield and got Odor out of the way, made the play.
No, 2 gone now. Evan Gattis will step in. Gattis last night tripled in his first at bat and scored the first Astro run of the game. 244 average. He's the team leader with 54 RBI. And he has those 15 home runs to go along with it. First pitch is high from Colby Lewis for ball 1. Gattis 2 for 4 last night. He's been on a pretty good roll. Starting to pick things up. Remember, he got off that terrible start. The 5 triples, by the way, by far his season best of his career. He previously had a season high of 1. Pitch is low, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. And you wouldn't normally think of putting Evan Gattis and the likes of Michael Bourne in the same conversation. But Michael Bourne is the last one that had as many as 5 triples in a season for the Astros.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw that. Matter of fact, when he got into third and got up, Beltre asked him, "Is that your first triple?" And Gattis just put up 5, just like that. I thought, I looked at the stats, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You don't see that very often.
2-1. Good slider from Colby Lewis. No, he's not exactly built like a greyhound. Maybe a greyhound bus, but not a greyhound dog. He's a big man.
He is a big man and can motor.
Yeah, he
We've
can.
seen it.
Colby a check of second. Altuve's back there. Gaddis able to lay off a slider that time. It's 3 balls and a strike. But Gaddis DHing and batting cleanup. He'll be followed by the third baseman, Luis Valbuena. Colby Lewis getting set to deliver his 16th pitch of this first inning. Colby, one of the league leaders in fewest pitches per inning, coming into play tonight. And the pitch is popped up. Playable, looks like, for Mitch Moreland. Through the coach's box and makes the catch. And that'll do it. So, Colby Lewis able to work around the leadoff single and stolen base by Altuve. We'll go to the second. We are scoreless in Houston.
Love the 80s. This place is a complete sellout, but I got to tell you, last night I noticed the most unique seat in the stadium. It's way up here in foul territory in right field. Look at this. It's a 1-seat row, and I wanted to come up here and just see what this thing looked like. So here I am occupying this one, and lo and behold, I climbed all the way up here. Rangers fans right in front of me. So it's great to see them, and it's great to see everybody. I'm going to stay here. It's a lot of work to get up here, Buzz and Mac. I'm sticking around up here for at least a couple of innings to see what it's like from up here.
Do we need to send up oxygen, John?
Yeah, I may need it.
Okay.
I guarantee you I'm winded and hot.
Wow, that's, yeah, I can see you from down here. A little ant-like person up there. Well, Josh Hamilton leading things off. See, we get... Well, you know, between John Radigan and Emily Jones and her food commentary, we get all kinds of stuff.
Don't we?
John's the travel agent, and Emily's the cuisine editor. There you are.
Sitting up here with all my friends.
Josh Hamilton down on strikes, and that's the first punch out for Scott Feldman. One gone for Elvis Andrus. We'll talk next time that Josh comes over. It looks like his timing is really, really off right about now,
yeah,
Mac.
It is. He got 3 different pitches: fastball for a strike, a breaking ball for a strike that he swung through, and then a changeup to finish him off. And he's just a tick behind right there, or a tick in between.
Elvis, the 245 hitter, takes strike 1. Elvis, pretty good roll of late. He's got a 4-game hitting streak active coming into play tonight. Batting average sneaking up to what would be its highest level of the year, another 6 points. And he finds himself down in the count here. No balls, 2 strikes. Elvis last night 2 for 4 with a double, drove in a run. And the numbers on his 4-game hitting streak: 6 out of 13 with 3 doubles. So the extra base hits coming in bunches for him. Off the glove of Feldman, Altuve bare hands throws, gets it. Nice play by Altuve. Quick reactions by the little guy. And a strong, accurate throw.
I'll tell you what, he can play some second base. He can hit. Just a talent. All-star second baseman again this year. This ball deflects off Feldman's glove, and Altuve's right there. And the only play he's got to barehand that ball and then come up and make a strong throw because he's right next to second base. Off balance, going away from first base. Nice play.
All-star second baseman, and certainly a Gold Glove caliber play for Altuve. Well, 2 away, bases empty. Here is Shin-Soo Choo, and Choo back in the lineup tonight. A lot of questions last night out of the lineup. Maristic coming in a hurry, but that ball falls in front of him for a base hit. Now Choo found an open space out there, lofted a soft single, a 2-out base hit. He's aboard for Robinson Chirinos.
Hopefully that'll be the beginning for Choo of a good hitting streak to get on, turn things around for him. He struggled here over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Hey, broken bat single.
Sure.
That's all it takes.
Yep. The Rangers could use Shin-Soo Choo to get hot, or Leonis Martin, preferably both of them at the same time. Robinson Chirinos batting at .215. Feldman pours in that cut fastball for strike one. Chirinos 1 for 3. He got hit last night by a foul tip. If you remember the replay, the foul tip got him right in the back of the hand. Talked to him today a little bit as we were downstairs prior to the game. He said, yeah, it's a little bit sore, but I'll be okay. You know, most people, me included, would be crying. That thing broken.
I was really not expecting him to be in the lineup today.
I wouldn't either.
You know, especially, so tomorrow he probably won't because of the day game. But I was really thinking after that foul ball and the one he took off of his foot that he caused.
Yeah.
It would have been, in my mind, it definitely would have been a day off for me.
Yeah, it takes a special breed to be a major league catcher. And it takes a special breed to wear your hair like that too, I guess. Robin, somebody's gonna get a still picture of that, and it'll be up in Robinson's locker. You know that's gonna happen. Pitch to him is fouled back. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
There are going to be some fines in Kangaroo Court for sure.
Yeah.
Even though they have nothing to do with what's going up on the board, it really doesn't matter in Kangaroo Court.
No, shouldn't. Well, your picture's up there. I mean, it's your face, right?
Exactly.
So you got.
It's all your fault.
That's right. Feldman, a check of first, the 1-2 pitch. Chopped on the left side, and Valbuena goes to second, just ahead of the sliding Shin-Soo Choo. Side retired, no runs a hit, 1 left for the Rangers. We finished an inning and a half. Rangers nothing, Astros nothing. Fox Sports Southwest. Just use hashtag Southwest Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself on an upcoming Ranger broadcast. It's all brought to you by the good folks at T-Mobile. Ranger fans in abundance. A lot of Ranger fans around the hotel today and out to the ballpark here tonight, in town for the weekend. Luis Valbuena fouling off that first pitch. Valbuena playing third base, and he's already established a career high for home runs in a season for himself, 19 of them. He's hitting $1.99. That's a tough line to explain. Sharply hit ball picked off by Moreland. Mitch will take it to the bag himself for out number 1. One away. Colby Rasmus will be next. Well, folks, it's never too early to start planning for the next Dollar Hot Dog Night. The next one's coming up on Wednesday, August 5th. That's Dollar Hot Dog Night, and the Rangers take on these Houston Astros. Just visit TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS to get your tickets. A.J. Hinch put together a lineup now that has 4 consecutive left-handed hitters to face Colby Lewis. Valbuena the first, now Colby Rasmus, who takes low and inside for ball 1. Hank Conger and John Singleton to follow. Rasmus batting just .233, and he's in a pretty good offensive funk. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rasmus 0 for his last 12 times to the plate. And that's fairly typical for him. He'll go through streaks like this. He'll also go through streaks where he hits 4 or 5 home runs in as many at-bats. 10 or 12 at-bats. He's always been that streaky kind of hitter. And whether it was St. Louis or Toronto or down here, he's had pretty good power. 2-1 pitch from Colby.
As a hitter, anybody that's a streaky player, whether you're a pitcher, hitting, or playing defense, that's always a head scratcher. How can I go out for 5 or 6 games and hit 500, and then come back the next 5 or 6 and hit 100? It's amazing. Sometimes you feel like you've gone up there with the bat in your hand the other way.
Yeah.
The small end of the bat.
Rasmus just able to check his swing on that high fastball. 3-2 pitch, and he popped him up. Out behind second base, Elvis Andrews making the call on the catch. That is out number 2. Well, Colby retiring now the last 5 consecutive Astros that he's faced. 2 outs, bases empty. Hank Conger coming up. Yeah, there's a lot about the game of baseball that make you scratch your head. And the consistency part, though, is a mystery.
It really is.
And you don't feel any different, other than you want to hit your head with the bat sometimes. I mean, it's the same thing no matter what position you play. You go into funks. You say, what happened? I never saw it coming.
You can go out there feeling great and do terrible.
Yeah.
0 for 4, 3 punch outs. And then come out there some days and you feel like you need about 5 more hours of sleep.
Right.
And you get 3 hits. It's amazing. Very humbling game.
Yes, it is. Yeah, especially as soon as you think you have something figured out, it's going to turn right around and smack you upside the head. 1-2 to Hank Conger. Conger, a .232 hitter, a switch hitter up there from the left side against Colby. Former Los Angeles Angel came over to the Astros this past offseason. 2-2 now.
Oh, I like his wig and glasses. Or excuse me, his haircut and glasses.
There you go. Two pitch. We'll try it again.
Both teams are going to have a great time the next Kangaroo Court they have.
Yeah,
they are. This is beautiful stuff for Kangaroo Court.
Although I got to say, some of these look a little more like the 70s instead of the 80s. I mean, that's going back there a little bit.
That is.
I knew I shouldn't have said anything about that. Conger gone on strikes. Colby Lewis, a 1-2-3 inning. Astros gone in order. We have finished 2 innings here in Houston. Rangers nothing and the Astros nothing. Visit TexasRangers.com/treasure chest. You get access to rarely available lower infield, premium infield tickets for the Yankees and Giants games on the upcoming homestand. So go to TexasRangers.com/treasure chest. Scott Philbin back to the hill to start the 3rd inning. He'll face the top of the order for the 2nd time. Delino DeShields, Rougned Odor, and Prince Fielder. Scoreless ball game. Rangers with 2 hits, the Astros with 1. Delino DeShields drew a walk starting off things tonight. And he chops the first pitch fair down the left field line. That's in for extra bases. DeShields at second and makes a turn there before slamming the brakes on. Preston Tucker had to dig that ball out of the corner. And Delino DeShields on with a leadoff 2-bagger. The advantage of having the ability to bunt and then pull that third baseman in and slap it by him.
Valbuena had no chance of getting this ball. He's about 10 feet in front of the bag just in case Delino decides to drop one, and he pulls it right down the line. All Valbuena can do was look at it and know it was at least a double. A low center of gravity, be able to slide like that and just pop right back up.
Now Rougned Odor trying to get him over with the bunt. And fouled it back. Odor, you remember, put down a bunt in the 1st inning with DeShields at first. He was going to sacrifice him over, and it turned into a base hit. Odor now a .256 average. And this time, Jose Altuve, the second baseman, cheating a little more over toward first. In around a bunt, and it's bunted foul, 0-2.
The middle infield, Correa and Altuve switched things over. The last time Odor was up, you had Altuve holding on to Shield, but this time Correa's holding him on, and Altuve is in a much better position to get over to first base in case it's a sacrifice bunt or a bunt for a base hit.
No balls, 2 strikes. Feldman, a check of second. And a little inside move that way, just in case DeShields was thinking about moving over to third. Conger with the signs. Feldman ready. In the dirt. Nice stop by Hank Conger. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The liner to Shields at second. The Rule 5 draft pick from the Houston Astros by the Rangers. Odor, 21-year-old, trying to at least advance him to third. 379 average the last 15 games for Odor. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That ball is pounded to right field. Way back. Goodbye. Second deck for Odor. His 4th home run in his career against the Astros. And the Rangers lead it 2-0.
Nice job of bunting by Odor. He got a pitch out over the middle of the plate that he can handle. And he wasn't trying to hit a home run. He was just trying to pull the ball to the right side of the field to get the Shields over to third base. But he got a whole lot more. See, Feldy's trying to go down and away and ends up down and in. That's that happy spot for left-handers.
Odor with his 5th home run of the year. And he was a no-doubter. Rugna knew it as soon as it touched the bat. That fielder pops it up shallow left field. Going out Valbuena, he can't get it. It drops for a base hit. With Tucker playing over toward left center field a bit, no way he could get there. And Valbuena, with the shift on, had a long way to go, and he couldn't pick it up.
Hey, it doesn't have to be hit hard. Just find some empty grass out there. Pitch up and away a little bit. Prince goes after it. It's going to look like a line drive tomorrow.
As far as I'm concerned, it looks like it right now, in my book anyway. Now here's Beltre. 1 ball, no strikes. Adrian reached on a fielder's choice in the first. Go ahead.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier the first inning there, how tough it was to see out there. This is even tougher right now, I think, with Feldy still being in the shade a little bit. Then you've got the sunlight, and then the ball is going to end up back in the shade. It makes it very difficult for a hitter to pick up rotation on the ball. It's pretty much just a dot coming at you. So picking up the rotation, that's how you recognize if it's a breaking ball or if it's a fastball.
Feldman with a 2-0. It's hit high in the air, but it will tail out of play down the first base side. 2 balls and a strike. Beltre, a 5-game hitting streak. And over those 5 games, 9 for 20. That's a .450 average. A home run and an RBI for Adrian in that streak. 2 for 4 last night. Couple of singles, and he scored a run. Got fielder at first. Nobody out still here in the 3rd inning. Rangers with 2 on the board, courtesy of Odor's 2-run home run. Down and over the top. That was that sinking fastball from Scott Feldman. 2-2 now.
Beltre going after that sinker. Not a pitch you really want to hit.
Fielder getting his lead from first, as you saw. Foul tipped straight down, and the count remains even. Scott Feldman forced to work overtime here in the 3rd inning. Still has nobody out. He was giving up a double, a home run, and a single. It's pretty much the area that Scott Feldman lives in, right at the bottom of that strike zone with the sinker and the cut fastball, working away from a right-handed hitter. It's an occasional curveball in down there also. 3-2. Phil Beltre trying to get aboard to join Fielder, following Adrian Mitch Moreland, swinging that bat in the on-deck circle. Feldman okays the sign. Big right-hander is set. Payoff pitch. Lined out Tuve, and he picks it right off the dirt top. Snared that tailing line drive off the bat of Beltre. That's out number 1. Now, before Mitch steps in, let's send it back to Aaron Hardigan for a Mazda game break. All right, Aaron, thank you. Mitch Moreland, a ground ball to short. Back in the first inning, and he takes low and inside for ball 1. Moreland, a .292 average. Trying to move Prince Fielder along. Prince at first with 1 out here in the 3rd. Moreland finally qualified for the leaders board in the major leagues. He got enough at bats to qualify. That ball is ripped to right, but it's hooking down the line and goes foul. A Feldman curveball that stayed up and almost left the ballpark completely.
Mitch got a good rip at that one. Trying to go away again, up and in. And I don't think anybody was happier than Scott Feldman right there.
And Moreland taking one the other way, high in the air, slicing toward the seats down the line. And it's back about 4 rows out of the reach of Preston Tucker. A ball and 2 strikes. Mitch qualifying with enough at bats Sunday before the All-Star break. He's 6th in the American League in slugging percentage at .539. 8th in number of at bats per RBI, a little over 5.5. Hits this one well to center field. Marisnik going back, reaches up, makes the catch. Back to first goes Fielder. And Mitch hit a bullet, but it was captured by Jake Marisnik in center. That's out number 2.
Thought that one had enough giddy up to get over Marisnik's head, but Marisnik can cover some ground out there. Had a good jump on it. Ran it down, another pitch up in the zone. Mitch drilled it, but Marisnik right there.
How would you like to have both he and George Springer on your team? These 2 guys. Springer's out. He will be for another 5 or 6 weeks, but boy, those guys are going to be great players.
They are. There's not going to be much that falls between left center and the right field line, that's for sure.
The hardest thing about having the 2 of them on the team is deciding which one's going to play center. The other guys play right. So that's... Josh Hamilton struck out his first time, and he faced Scott Feldman. When Josh was up the first time, mentioned his timing looks like it's off. What exactly is a hitter's timing, Mac?
Well, you try and get in rhythm with the pitcher. When that pitcher starts his windup, you've got a rhythm and you want to be in a certain spot when that pitcher is in a certain spot. And so when the ball gets there, whether it's a fastball or something off speed, you're in position to hit it. And right now, Josh looks like he's a little bit behind the fastball and ahead of any off-speed pitch. Mm-hmm. So he's just got to work with that timing. And again, we've been saying it a lot. He came back and played 4 or 5 games and then had to go back on the DL. So he really still hasn't had a consistent, 100 at-bats. And that's pretty much what it takes in spring training. 70 to 100 at-bats is typically what guys get in spring training, and that gets them ready for the season. So Josh still hasn't had that, 70, 100 to 100 at-bat stretch just yet. So I think he'll get there. He'll be fine. He's not overmatched right now, but he's definitely not doing what he's capable of doing.
He's gone on strikes for the 2nd straight time, and Scott Feldman gives up a couple of runs to the Rangers. Rougned Odor, a 2-run home run. With Delino to Shields aboard after 2.5 innings. It's the Rangers 2 and the Astros nothing. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealer. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer to kick off the summer right. Ford is the best in Texas. John Singleton leading off, lines one off the glove of Odor. He recovers, but not in time to make a throw. And Singleton is aboard. Be a base hit. Hard hit ball, and looked like Rougned might have mistimed his jump a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like he did. I wasn't sure he was going to be able to get up that high, but he did. Just a little bit too late. A little too soon, actually. Singleton crushes that one. He was right there. It looked like the ball probably had some topspin on it and came back down on it.
Rougned not very thrilled about the outcome of that, but Singleton hit the ball sharply, so he is aboard with nobody out. Jake Marisnick, center fielder and the number 9 hitter. Tries to bunt and bunts through it for strike one. Marisnick batting at .241 for the year with 5 home runs and 21 RBI. Marisnick 1 out of 2 in last night's ball game. He had a double. That snapped an 0 for 9 streak that he was in. Off the end of the bat, a little nubber foul, and it's 0-2 very quickly. Marisnick coming back off the disabled list. The first weekend in July. He spent 15 days on the DL with a left hamstring strain. A guy that's Marisnick's size, is a pretty good sized guy, and he runs real well, so that hamstring can be a touchy issue. Singleton, also a big guy, but a young player who still runs pretty well. And Marisnick skies to center field. Delino to Shields underneath it for out number 1. And that'll take the Astros back to the top of the order for Jose Altuve. Now, Colby Lewis enjoying a 2-run lead now. The Rangers, that's something that for Colby Lewis. The Rangers have scored about 6 3/4 runs per game for him, 6.79 to be exact. And of course, we all know the Rangers' difficulties in the last month or so scoring runs. So to get Colby out there and put some runs on the board, a very good sign for the Rangers trying to snap this 3-game losing streak. Altuve takes outside for ball 1. Jose rolled a single through the middle to start things off in the first inning. Altuve now a .295 average as he faces Lewis. 2 balls, no strikes. Altuve over his career against Colby Lewis, 6 for 18. It'll be a .333 mark. He's one of the few Astros who has done some damage against Colby. 2-1.
I think you could say that about most pitchers he's faced.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think he leaves too many pitchers unscathed. He will get them eventually.
He typically goes up there and gives you a good quality at bat.
It's pop foul and will twist its way back into the seats. 2-2. And Altuve, another guy like Dustin Pedroia, a smaller statured player who plays like a big guy. They both play excellent defense, but when they start swinging, you can't tell how tall they are. I mean, they look like they produce like any normal-sized player.
Oh, they do. And you look at Pedroia, former AL MVP.
Right. And certainly Altuve fit into that category at any time.
No question. Typically an MVP, when it's a bigger guy, hits a lot of home runs and drives in runs, that's really it. That's all that they do for that ball club. But you're looking at Altuve or Pedroia, they do it on both ends, defensively, offensively, and I know Pedroia has been a leader for that Boston Red Sox club, so he's got the complete package in my eyes, and Altuve's not far behind that. Nice short, quick stroke. He's able to foul pitches off, just, a flick of the bat.
And I don't think he's seen a fastball yet that he doesn't like. I don't care where it is. If he sees it, he's going to have a pretty good hack at it. Another 3-2 pitch coming from Lewis. Singleton on the move. The ground ball up the middle. And the play at second not in time, but Odor gets rid of it quickly, and they get Altuve at first. Singleton beat the relay, or I should say the flip from Andrus to Odor at second. But Rugnet got rid of it very quickly and got Altuve at first base.
Now that's a great play at number one by Elvis, going over, cover with Singleton running on the play. Makes the dive, knocks the ball down, still flips it to Odor, but the best part of that play is Odor didn't just freeze because Singleton was safe at second. He still had presence of mind to turn around and try and get two, or get the one at first base, and throws a strike over to Mitch Moreland at first base. So great heads-up play by Odor.
Oh, it goes 6-4-3 on the put out at first. Safely aboard at second is Singleton. And Preston Tucker will get his second at bat. Tucker lined to center field back in the first inning. Slider down and in for ball one. Tucker at .253 with 5 home runs, 21 RBI. Colby trying to work around the leadoff single by Singleton. One and one. Preston Tucker, a 25-year-old out of Tampa, Florida. 7th round selection by the Astros back in 2012. At the University of Florida, the Gator. Florida, a very rich baseball tradition, and Preston Tucker has a lot of school records down there in Gainesville. Second in all-time home runs. Holds the records for at-bats and doubles, RBI. Also hits. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, Singleton at second base. Colby Lewis trying to keep this a 2-0 Ranger advantage. Now the big right-hander sets at the belt and misses high. It's full count. Well, back-to-back 3-2 counts. Got Altuve on the last one. Tucker hitting second, trying to get aboard with 2 outs. Carlos Correa, the shortstop, is in the on-deck circle. Now Colby with a payoff pitch. Got him swinging. Like a slider that backed up. And Colby got the strikeout. Well, no runs, a hit, 1 left for the Astros after 3 complete. Rangers 2, Astros nothing. Fans will receive a Rangers cowboy hat. That's courtesy of Coca-Cola and Walmart. Get your tickets now. You don't want to miss the chance to get this great accessory for your wardrobe. Just visit TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS to get your seats. Elvis Andrus leading things off here for the Rangers in the 4th inning. Texas on top 2-0. Scott Feldman goes to work and deals strike one. Elvis hit the ball sharply his first time, and Feldman deflected it to Altuve, who had made a very nice play to get Andrus at first. Now Elvis down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes after the foul ball. Rangers have 2 runs on 5 hits. And again, very similar to last night. They've had a hit in each of the first 3 innings. Put 3 together for their 2 runs in the third. Last night they only had 1 inning where they didn't have at least 1 runner on base by a hit or a walk. Stranded 10 men in a game that they had 15 hits and only 2 runs. And Elvis pops it up, way up there, and on the third base side, Valbuena waiting for it to come down. That's out number 1. So Elvis pops out. Next will be Shin-Soo Choo. Folks, it's Safety Saturday. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. Brought to you by the Texas Department of Transportation. Choo had a single to center field back in the second inning. Average now at 224 for the Ranger right fielder. In a bunt, it's a pretty good one. Valbuena is not going to have a play, and Choo is aboard for the second time. No, the overshift, and that's one of the areas that gets exposed. That third baseman having to play over toward the shortstop hole, and Shin-Soo Choo said, fine, you're going to do that? I'm going to lay a bunt down. He got it by Feldman, and once he did, that was all she wrote.
Well, something's definitely different about Choo right now. He's seen 2 pitches, and he's got 2 hits. And this is typically a guy that likes to work the count, make the pitcher throw a little bit. But tonight he's being ultra aggressive.
No, 1 on, 1 out. Robinson Chirinos now for his second at bat. Chirinos grounded into a fielder's choice in the second inning. 1 ball, no strikes. Chirinos brings a 3-game hitting streak into play tonight. He's gone 5 for 11 in the previous 3 games. There goes Choo. Pitch is missed. The throw to second, not in time. Shin-Soo Choo doing it all tonight. A couple of hits, now a stolen base. Gets himself into scoring position with 1 away. First stolen base of the year for Choo.
Great jump by Choo. It was a hit and run, but he still got a great jump, stole the base, and that's what you want to have happen when you've got the hit and run on, and if the hitter misses it, you still want to be able to steal a base if you've got some good speed, which Choo does. First one all year.
Well, the Rangers had kind of shut the running game down of late when they haven't had many guys on base to run. Prior to last night, it had been the problem. So Choo in scoring position. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Chirinos. Now 2-1. Rangers coming into play today had exactly 2 steal attempts in the last 12 games. They're still 4th in the American League in stolen bases as a team. Choo's stolen base, the 55th now for the Rangers. 3-1 the count. No, Chirinos in a good hitter's count. 3-1 with 1 out. Choo at second. Top of the order looms after Chirinos. That would be Delino to Shields. 3-2. That fastball, the sinking fastball that you just saw Feldman throw, used to be his primary pitch. And he came up with that cut fastball, and some would tell you that he fell in love with it a little too much, got away from that good sinker, but he still has an excellent hard sinking fastball when he wants to throw it.
Yeah, I don't know how you get away from that one. That's a great one. Hey, if you've got a cutter too, even better, because then you can go, both sides of the plate.
Right.
With a right-handed batter or a left-handed batter for that matter.
That's low, ball 4. Chirinos draws the walk, and Feldman upset with himself. That is the second walk that Feldman has issued here this evening. He walked DeShields to start the game. And now he has walked Chirinos to put 2 on and 1 out for DeShields. Conger out to talk to Feldman momentarily to see if he can calm down his tall right-hander. Delino, along with that walk, doubled his last time up. Scored the first Ranger run as he crossed home plate in front of Rougned Odor when Odor hit the ball into the second deck in right field. Two on, 1 out. DeShields hitting at .275. 1 ball, no strikes. It looks like Scott Feldman now starting to labor just a bit. Again, this is his first start after coming off the disabled list. Now, Brent Straw, the pitching coach, is going to make a hurried visit out to the mound. Feldman able to get a couple of rehab starts. But you would figure that he's 64 pitches into the outing now, and he's had to cram a lot of pitches into the last couple of innings. That's not the easiest thing to do. There's the pitch breakdown for you. 23 in the 3rd inning when he gave up the 2 runs. 12 already here in the 4th inning. You get some high stress situations in back-to-back innings that can create a problem. 1 ball, no strikes to count. One and 1. DeShields now a modest 3-game hitting streak going after that 3rd inning double. Trying to pick up Chu from second. Ground ball right back to Feldman. A high throw, but Altuve gets it back to first, not in time. Now just that little bit of a high throw allowed Delino DeShields to scurry down the line ahead of the throw. Well, the Astros hanging around the infield, checking with their dugout. A.J. Hinch saying, "Hang on a second here. Let me have somebody take a look at the replay." But they took a look at it and said, "No, never mind."
Nice job on Altuve's part to be able to go up and get it and come down on the bag and still get the out at second base.
Now we'll see if that turns into a very big play for the Rangers. Runners at the corners with 2 away. Rougned Odor 2 for 2 tonight. A bunt single, a 2-run home run. There goes DeShields. A pitch is high. A bluff to second base. There's nobody covering. And DeShields with a stolen base in there at second. For Delino, that is his 15th stolen base of the year. So now second and third. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Odor. Popped him up. Valbuena, the third baseman, underneath it, and that will do it. Well, the Rangers strand a couple on a hit and a walk. We played 3.5. It remains the Rangers 2, the Astros nothing. This is Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Mazda. In every car we make, you'll see why driving matters. The Rangers leading the Astros 2-0 as Houston comes to bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Rangers 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Astros no runs on just 2 hits and no errors. Carlos Correa leading off, and Colby Lewis paints the outside corner with strike 1. Correa, a fly ball to shallow right his first time up there. And shortstop now at 273 with the average. Oh, 1 pitch. A little bit high. Well, we have had some young players come to the big leagues this year, haven't we?
We really
Talented
have.
young players.
Not afraid. They come out here and they've been playing like veteran players,
yeah.
to be quite honest. Typically, when a young guy comes to the plate, there's some growing pains. You've got to, deal with, getting off to a slow start typically, but not what we've seen so far this year.
Correa has come in and just been terrific. We think of Jock Peterson out in L.A. for the Dodgers. And there is strike 3 as Colby gets Correa to start the 4th inning. That's back-to-back strikeouts now for Lewis. Colby has 3 of them. And he'll face Evan Gattis.
Colby one right with the fastball right down the middle of the plate. Correa might have been looking for something else.
Certainly wasn't looking for strike 3. Evan Gattis fouled out to Mitch Moreland. His first time up. Colby getting that slider working. And when Colby has that pitch, to right-handers, he's almost untouchable. He typically gets pretty good strikeout totals when he has the slider working down and away. And he gets that fastball. It almost always has that fastball to where he can command it on either side. But that slider is the piece de resistance. 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Even the backup slider's working.
Doesn't matter what he throws right now. It's a strike.
Folks, Fox Sports Southwest brings you a special edition of Big 12 Live with wall-to-wall coverage of the Big 12 College Football Media Days. It's live from Dallas this Monday and Tuesday, beginning every day at 9 a.m. Well, 4 strikeouts now for Colby. 2 outs, Luis Valbuena. Takes right down at the shoe tops for ball 1. Valbuena tapped out to Mitch Moreland, his first time up there. Valbuena with 19 home runs and 57 total hits. 1/3 of his hits have left the ballpark. And this isn't a small sample anymore. We're halfway through the season.
Right, it's incredible. Doing that kind of damage. You don't typically see a guy with 1/3 of his hits, or it's been a long time, 1/3 of his hits being home runs. McGuire comes to mind for me.
Yeah.
And again, I think about this time of the year, he'd probably have 30 already.
Yeah, probably. That could get it. His rookie year, he had 49, I think it was.
Yes,
well,
it was a lot.
Yeah. Two and 1 to Valbuena. That's out of play to even the count. And the Astros are leading all of baseball with home runs. They have 124 as a team, but they've got a couple guys on this team, Chris Carter and Valbuena, the same way. A.J. Hinch has had to put those 2 guys in the lineup. They both hit around 200, maybe a little bit less, and 1/3 of their hits are home runs and not hitting for a very high average, but doing some damage when they do make contact.
I think sometimes average can be a little overrated, because if you've got a guy with 19, 20 home runs, you're in the middle of July and he's got 50, 55 RBIs. I mean, that's really the name of the game, driving in runs. So they're driving in runs. They just may not be doing it with singles and doubles. They're doing it with home runs occasionally, or more than occasionally.
Yeah. Colby now getting ready for the 2-2 pitch. It is on the way. And that is on the way to the upper deck. Foul by about 70, maybe 80 feet.
Radigan still up there?
No, he left.
He's gone.
Yeah. He would have had a shot. He would have had a shot at that, though.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Rad get in that train. How about that?
That'd be okay.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the Orange Express out there. And Colby strikes out the side in order. 1, 2, 3, all punch outs. Colby with 5 for the evening. We have gotten through 4 innings here at Minute Maid Park. Rangers leading 2-0.
Try to show you some of my favorite food stops or some of the great things that our guys do on the road, and there was a great one today as Bobby Jones was a part of a ceremony called a deployment ceremony. This is the 136th Expeditionary Signal Battalion. They are out of Ellington Field right here in Houston, and Bobby presented them with a flag, a Texas Rangers flag, that will be flown when they are deployed to the Middle East. All of these men and women are headed to the Middle East very soon, and Bobby, as a Vietnam veteran, was thrilled to be there. They were thrilled to see him. This group installs and defends communication systems, and then they had a casing ceremony on the field before the game. That was awesome too. I talked to a couple of the people who are headed to the deployment, and they were just as ready as they could ever be. You see the out, nice play made there by Altuve, and Prince Fielder is out, but they were so ready. I asked them, I said, is there a sense of dread or doom as you head for your deployment? They said, oh, no, sir. I said, would excited be too strong a word? And the first lieutenant said, sir, we are ready. And boy, I was convinced. Great stuff, guys, and we're proud of Bobby for being a part of the ceremony.
All right, John, thank you. It was a very moving pregame out here. The brigade and everyone on the field. Great night. Nice to have them honored out here at Minute Maid Park. Well, Fielder out on a nice play by Altuve. One gone for Adrian Beltre, who is 0 for 2. And he skies one to right field. That sends Rasmus back, but it is playable. 2 gone. No, Adrian 0 for 3 as he makes a U-turn, heads back to the Ranger dugout. Next will be Mitch Moreland. Mitch this evening is grounded out to short and lined to deep center field. Mitch, a 3-hit night last night, went 3 for 4. Last 3 ball games, plus a couple of at-bats tonight. Now he is 5 for his last 12. First pitch from Scott Feldman's a bit low for ball 1. Mitch came into the game 18th in the American League with the .293 batting average. Prince Fielder, his teammate, 2nd in the American League to Miguel Cabrera. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mitch also has the 4th best road batting average in the American League. Came in hitting at .326 away from Globe Life Park. You remember that series that Mitch had early July in Baltimore. There's a little roller that Conger jumps on and makes the play at first. And Scott Feldman has a relatively easy and quick 1-2-3 inning. Rangers gone in order in the 5th. We played half the ball game down in Houston. It's the Rangers 2 and the Astros 0. The fans attending the game on Friday, August 14th against the Tampa Bay Rays will enjoy a special post-game fireworks show set to Star Wars music. And there will also be special appearances by the Star Wars characters on the concourse. Visit TexasRangers.com/specials and use the coupon code FIREWORKS for $14 upper reserve tickets. And a sold-out Minute Maid Park is the venue for this Ranger Astros game. Rangers leading 2-0. Colby Rasmus starts off the bottom of the 5th inning by taking outside for ball 1. Rasmus, Conger, and Singleton to face Colby Lewis. Colby Rasmus is 0 for 1. He popped out his first time up. Colby Lewis has now retired the last 6 that he has faced. Make that 7 that he's faced as Rasmus lines to Rougned Odor.
Rasmus gets a nice pitch. a drive, and fortunately Colby had somebody on the other end of that.
That snapped a string of 4 consecutive strikeouts for Colby Lewis, but it is the first out here in the 5th. Now Hank Conger. Conger struck out back in the 2nd inning. And he hits a towering fly ball to right. Chu is back. He's going to have room, though, as he now comes in front of the warning track to haul it in. 2 gone. Well, before John Singleton comes up, let's send it back to Aaron Hardigan for a Mazda game break. All right, Aaron, thank you. Well, very quickly, 2 up, 2 away here in the Astros 5th, and John Singleton takes a strike from Colby Lewis. Singleton lined a single off the glove of Rougned Odor, his first time. He's the last Astro to reach base against Colby Lewis. Line drive to right, coming in. Chu has a play, and that will do it. A very quick and tidy 1-2-3 inning on 5 pitches is all Colby Lewis needed. We're going to the 6th inning here in Houston. Rangers leading the Astros 2-0. Brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $300 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. If a Ranger hits a home run during this inning, Brad Solomon from Fort Worth will win $300. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam during the inning, Brad's going to take home $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Well, Josh Hamilton to start things off, Elvis Andrus and Shin-Soo Choo to follow. Scott Feldman into the wind, and the first pitch to Josh a little bit low for ball 1. Hamilton has struck out both times tonight that he has faced Scott Feldman. Josh now with the average down to 214. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hamilton now has his hitless streak up to 12 consecutive at bats. He is just 2 for his last 23 times to the plate. 2-1. I think Jeff Bannister was hoping that getting Josh back into a park where he's had good success, being Minute Maid Park after the break, that he might snap out of it. And he hammers this one to right. That is down, and it's going to be 1 hop into the wall. Hamilton into second base ahead of the throw from Colby Rasmus. That's a little more like it. That was a rocket, a low rocket for a 2-bagger.
Nice swing by Josh. Trying to go in on him. The ball's a little bit down. That's that left-hander's real wheelhouse. Got the head of the bat to it and kept it fair. Drilled that ball in the right field corner.
7th hit of the night for the Rangers off of Scott Feldman. Hamilton at second with nobody out, and Elvis Andrus now charged with trying to at least get him over to third. Elvis has grounded out and popped out this evening. Gonna bunt, pops it up. Feldman has the play to first. Hamilton did a good job of waiting to make sure the ball was going to be down, and then was able to sneak on over to third. Well, the sacrifice goes 1-3. Hamilton now at third with 1 out for Shin-Soo Choo.
Well, they've got 2/3 of this of creating a run, manufacturing a run down. Elvis gets a pitch, pops it up a little bit, but it still gets down. Josh read it perfectly, was able to get over the third, got the sacrifice bunt down. Now you've got a runner at third with less than 2 outs, and Choo at the plate.
And Choo has had a couple of base hits. He bunted his way aboard last time, and Astros going to pull the infield all the way in. A 2-0 game. They don't feel like they can get any further behind the Rangers at this juncture. Choo has singled both of his at-bats, and Feldman misses very high for ball 1. Shin-Soo 2 for 2 tonight, a .227 average. His first single back in the second inning snapped an 0 for 11. Feldman with a 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Chu with 38 RBI. He has had a devil of a time, though, hitting with runners in scoring position. Takes that pitch inside. 3 balls, no strikes. Chu 0 for his last 14 in these situations. And it wouldn't take a base hit here to get a run home. Fly ball. Chopper in the infield. Anything like that will get the ball in. Or get the run in, I should say. 3-0 pitch to him. Now 3-1.
Doesn't look like Feldman's going to give Chu much to swing at.
Enough. There's a drive to right. Rasmus makes the catch. Tagging at third, coming in to score with the slide is Josh Hamilton. Chu gets the job done. Josh Hamilton scoring the run. The Rangers have a 3-0 lead.
Now that's how you manufacture a run. Josh leads off, gets a double. We got Elvis coming up right behind him, bunts him over to second base, gets him over to third base with less than 2 outs. And then Chu hits a sacrifice fly. Those are the types of things that the Rangers need to continue to do. Chu has a 3-1 pitch on the inside part of the plate and hits it. Nice fly ball out to right field. Deep enough for the run to score.
Get him on, get him over, and get him in. And that's exactly what the Rangers did. Only 1 hit, but a couple of sacrifices. Got the run home and increased their lead to 3-0 now. No bases empty. Here's Robinson Chirinos, and he takes ball 1. Chirinos 0 for 1. Walked his last time up. Grounded into a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. That ball's hit well to left field. Way back. Goodbye. Robinson Chirinos with his 9th home run of the year. The Rangers lead it 4-0.
That's another one for you. Get him on, get him over, get him in. All one guy.
And Brad Solomon from Fort Worth is $300 richer, plus dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. Congratulations, Brad. Nice going. Robinson. Yeah, that's a little different kind of manufacturer, but the outcome's the same.
I'll take it. A little less stressful when one guy, it only takes one guy to do what it took 3 guys to do a minute ago. Breaking ball right down the middle, down in the zone. Got some great extension on it. And said hello to the Crawford boxes out there in the left.
2 balls, no strikes to Delino DeShields. You could tell by the slumping of Scott Feldman's shoulders that where that was headed. Two and 1 now. Delino chopping that pitch foul. Well, Robinson Chirinos, 9 home runs this year. He is taken very well to catching on a more frequent basis. 9 home runs and 28 RBI for the Ranger backstop. Ball low and away. It is now 3-1. Delino has been on a couple of times. He's doubled and walked. 1 out of 2 officially. Shoots one to right. That's in for a base hit. DeShields, another 2-hit ball game. He was 2 for 5 last night. He's 2 for 3 here tonight. And this 6th inning continues for the Rangers with Rougned Odor coming up. And it doesn't look like he is going to face Scott Feldman. A.J. Hinch, a purposeful walk out to the mound, and that's going to do it for Scott Feldman. So Feldman goes 5 2/3. He leaves on the short end of a 4-0 score. Pitching change underway here at Minute Maid Park. Rangers on top 4-0. We're back after this timeout on Fox Sports Southwest. now to take over for Scott Feldman. Scott Feldman's undoing. We talked about command issues, Mac. Last 3 hitters that he faced, command was definitely a problem.
Yeah, it was. You look at the pitch here on the sac fly by Chu. Pitch out over the middle of the plate. A home run by Chirinos. Another pitch out over the plate. And then the base hit by DeShields to right. Pitch up in the zone into right field. And, you know, it's that location issue. And then also, you know, he's pitching into the 6th inning, his first outing back. He's at 92 pitches, so I'm sure he was probably getting a little bit tired as well. So the location issues he was having a little bit earlier in the ball game just magnified as the longer he was out there.
Well, he gives way to the 32-year-old left-hander Tony Sipp. Sipp appearing in his 37th ball game of the year, 2-4, a 3.06 ERA coming out of the bullpen. The opponents hitting just .212 against the veteran left-hander. Rougned Odor will face Sipp after the throw to first, driving DeShields back. Delino with the base hit that drove Feldman from the game. Also had his 15th stolen base of the year back in the 4th inning. We'll see if he is able to read Sipp and get a good jump. Ball 1 backs Odor out of the way, a breaking ball that didn't break. Tony Sipp signed by Houston as a free agent a little over a year ago, May 2nd of 2014. Ranger fans remember Sipp primarily in a Cleveland uniform. Off the end of the bat, and Sipp has it. That will do it. So Sipp throws a couple of pitches, gets the out. Rangers gone in the 6th, but they scored 2 more times on 3 hits. One of those, a solo home run from Robinson Chirinos. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Rangers 4, Astros nothing. Sections are half price when you purchase online, thanks to Ozarka. Tuesday, August 4th is a great time to take advantage of this offer. Rangers play these Astros. Get your tickets online at TexasRangers.com/specials using the online coupon code Ozarka. Colby Lewis has retired the last 9 Astros that he has faced consecutively, and Jake Maristic leading off the bottom of the 6th. Maristic a fly ball to center in his only at bat this evening. Rangers leading 4-0 now. They have out hit the Astros 9-2. And that's fouled off the end of the bat. Colby in front of the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Maristic a .240 average as he leads off the bottom of the 6th inning. Rangers looking to snap that 3-game losing streak. We'll try another 1-2 pitch again. Rangers come in at 26 and 21 on the road. Colby Lewis has fared extremely well with the ball club on the road himself. He's looking to continue his mastery over the Astros. Got him swinging. Up and in. That tied Maristic up. Strikeout number 6 for Colby Lewis. And speaking of Colby, how about our Kubota power stats for tonight? Colby Lewis, 7 career games at Minute Maid Park. He is 5-0, a 1.11 ERA with a 1.76 opponent's batting average. He has issued a total of 4 walks with 39 strikeouts and just over 13 pitches per inning. That is pretty efficient.
That's very efficient. And, you know, I love seeing him when he's commanding his fastball and that slider, especially the right-handers. He can hit that outside part of the plate, and he can take it, 6 to 8 inches off and get right-handers swinging at it.
He's slicing and dicing, and that's exactly what he's doing to the Astros tonight. Jose Altuve, 1 out of 2. He hits a towering pop foul. That's up over the rafters. And it's back about 2 rows out of play. I think it was over the rafters. I lost sight of it.
Yeah, I did too. The deck right above us, I think, got blocked away a little bit. It's pretty high.
Yeah, it is. Now 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Altuve. A single in the 1st inning. And a ground out in the 3rd. Altuve, a .294 hitter. And this one's popped up. It's not going near the rafters. It's going to settle into Shin-Soo Choo's glove for out number 2. Well, how about our AT&T U-verse Rewind? We'll take a look back at the Powder Blues Ranger Road uniforms from 77 through 82. The best record in that 77 club. They were awfully good. A road record of 50 and 31 wearing the Powder Blues. Notable players to wear these uniforms: Ferguson Jenkins, Gaylord Perry, Bert Blylev, and Jim Kern, Frank Tannen. That's a pretty good pitching staff right there.
Not too shabby.
Moreland a dive. The flip to first in time for the out. They get Preston Tucker. What a play on both ends. Mitch Moreland, the headlong dive, and Colby Lewis scooting over to cover first. And now we're going to have the Rangers slowed down as they were coming off the infield, just in case there's going to be a challenge. And there is not going to be. So that'll do it. A.J. Hinch had one. Take a look at it one time. That's it. Another 1, 2, 3. Anyway, finish 6. Rangers by 4. The Rangers this evening. Rudin Odor got it started. His 5th home run of the year, and it was a blast into the second deck in right field. That was in the 3rd inning. Colby Lewis, meanwhile, has retired 18 of the 20 hitters that he has faced tonight. Allowed just 2 base hits, 6 strikeouts for the 35-year-old right-hander. It's another dominating performance against the Astros in this ballpark by Colby Lewis. Well, Tony Sipp back to the hill. He's facing Prince Fielder, leading off the Rangers' 7th inning. It'll be Fielder, Beltre, and Moreland to face Sipp. Prince 1 for 3 tonight. He has popped out, grounded out, and singled to left field. Rangers 4 runs on 9 hits. Astros no runs on just 2 hits. Neither club has committed an error tonight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Take a look at our Ford leaderboard. How about the hit leaders in the major leagues? Prince Fielder now trailing D. Gordon of the Miami Marlins by 5, but Gordon's on the DL. So Prince is ostensibly the active leader. Going up after that Sipp offering, couldn't quite get on top of it. It's 1 and 2. There's
that's definitely a foul.
What? Yeah. Man. Foul back by Prince. Fielder 0 for 3 in his career against Tony Sipp. A ball and 2 strikes. Sipp ready to work again. Off the end of the bat, foul. And we'll try it again at a ball and 2 strikes. Prince taking a look at the cupped end of that bat. He said, I'm going to have to have another one. It chipped off a piece of that cupped end. Rudin Odor, one of the highest paid bat boys in the major leagues. And he didn't give Prince the right one. Now
that's the one I said. Give me the one with the hits in it.
Now, does Odor get fined for giving the wrong bat too? Only if he doesn't get a hit.
I would do it. Yeah, for sure. Holding up the game, getting TV time, sure. Yeah. Find something to find him for. Pretending to be a bat boy?
Pretending to be a bat boy, that's right. Taking some poor kid's job.
As you can tell, I was terrible at that.
Bad boy. He looks dismayed. Hey, where'd that guy come from?
Huh?
Did I just get replaced? Zip back to the plate. Prince leans on it. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Tony Zip all over the place. Some high, some low. Fielder trying to get aboard to start this Rangers 7th. Another 2-2 pitch. That was the best pitch he had yet to work with.
I'm sure he's not happy about missing that one.
Number 8, right there in the middle. The only thing that's missing is the thing lighting up and pulsating. Probably what he thought it looked like coming in there. Prince back in, tapping the inside corner of home plate with the business end of that bat. Zip okays the sign. That's off the end of the bat toward third. Long throw from Valbuena, and Singleton can't dig it out. Fielder is aboard. That may be another base hit for Fielder. They're going to rule an error on Luis Valbuena. No respect for Prince Fielder's speed.
None. It's the wheels that caused that.
That's right.
A little slider down. Prince hits it off the end of the bat, and look at that hustle.
A little cue shot down there, huh?
Yes, it's a much tougher play. You know, we've talked about it before. Much tougher play when that ball's spinning like that. As soon as it hits your glove, it can catch and spin out, or you just can't get your hand in there and get a good grip on it.
So the error charged to Valbuena. Now Adrian Beltre trying to make it cost the Astros. Beltre 0 for 3 tonight. He is grounded out, lined out, and flied out. Beltre facing Tony Zip. Called strike at the belt. Beltre 1 out of 6 in his matchups in the past against Tony Zip. That one hit, a double. For the most part, Zip with Cleveland anyway was primarily a left-handed specialist, matchup specialist. Astros using him in a little different role, expanding the times that he faces both lefties and righties. 1-2 to Adrian. Conger flashing the signs out. Zip a check of first. And speaking of left-handed specialists, how about Wandy Rodriguez out in the Ranger bullpen? Now, if you're thinking, I thought Wandy was supposed to pitch Monday in Colorado. Well, originally he was. That's tentative now. The official version of the scheduled pitcher on Monday, TBA.
TBA gets around a lot.
TBA is, yeah, he's going to have a bad arm by the end of the year. See him almost in every series. Inside to Beltre, 2-2. And part of the thought process had been, at least this way Jeff Bannister explained it, because of Martin Perez, you didn't really know what to expect last night. You wanted to have some insurance out there in case he had a very short outing. You didn't want to get caught short in the bullpen. And then today, a day for normal throwing in between starts for Wandy. Ground ball to third. Valbuena cuts it off. They're going to turn it in to a 5-4-3 double play. Well, that prevents the error from costing the Astros at least momentarily. 2 gone. Mitch Moreland coming up. Well, we talked about the powder blues. How about our Coors Light Cold Hard Fact? The Astros Rainbow jersey was their home and road jersey from 75 through 79. And then the rainbow jersey continued as the home jersey until 1986. The Coors Light Cold Hard Fact brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. That was all the rage back in the late 70s, early 80s. They had some ugly uniforms back then, Matt.
They did.
Oh,
they did. I remember, I think the person that I remember most in a Astros uniform was Mike Scott in this particular uniform.
Yep. It's Moreland pops the next pitch foul, and that's back into the seats. 1 ball, 1 strike. I can remember watching the no-hitter that Nolan Ryan threw against the Dodgers in the Astrodome wearing that uniform. 1981, I believe it was. Nolan, his 5th no-hitter. And, of course, he would come over and pitch a couple more with the Rangers. And Moreland, a swing and a miss. It's 1-2. And Mike Scott throwing a no-hitter to clinch the division for the Astros. Well, they had some great teams. 80s and mid to late 80s. 1-2 pitch to Mitch. Now 2-2. Moreland, a couple of ground outs and a line drive to center. 0 for 3 tonight. Batting average right at 290. Zip back to the plate. Got him swinging. Well, the Rangers, despite having the error, go down in 1-2-3 fashion. Stretch time in Minute Maid. The Rangers leading 4-0. And now let's join the public address announcer as he introduces God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of tonight's pregame deployment ceremony for the 136th, the Houston Astros would like to pause now to salute and thank all service members who have served or are currently serving and protecting our freedoms around the world each and every day. At this time, we kindly ask that you please rise and raise up that spirit card to let us know who you salute as we pause to honor America with the singing of God Bless America. Please welcome Master Sergeant Promise Harris.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Mobile and connected devices with MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Now Colby Lewis back to the hill. Rangers leading 4-0. Colby to face Carlos Correa to start things off here in the 7th, and he deals in strike 1. Correa has flied to right and struck out. Colby working on a string of 12 consecutive batters retired. Check swing, he went around. That is strike 2. Will Little, though, first base umpire, making the determination on that appeal. Correa, a .271 average. One ball, 2 strikes. Carlos Correa, not a prototypical shortstop. Well, at least he wouldn't have been 10 years ago. He's 6'4", goes about 215 pounds. A big man to be playing short.
That's a large fellow. You know, he's 20 years old, so he's going to get, you know, he's going to fill out more, you know, body-wise. I'm not sure how long he'll be able, you know, to continue to play shortstop. But, you know, it just goes through my mind. I don't think it really matters where he plays, third or short. He's going to be a great player.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Hits this one well to left center field. The Shields back at the wall. That ball's gone. Way up above the yellow line. And Carlos Correa, with his 8th home run of the year, makes it a 4-1 Ranger lead. And that ball, folks, was crushed. About 430 feet or so to almost straightaway center field.
Yeah, that's it. That ball went a long way. Got a pitch out over the middle of the plate from Colby. And just didn't miss it. One of the few mistakes Colby's made tonight. Correa got some great extension on it, and he moved from the crack of that bat. There's that sound again, Buzz.
Yeah. Yeah, and with the roof closed, it even reverberates more in here. I think they ought to muffle the bats somehow.
Another pitcher's advantage, huh?
Yeah. So the shutout is gone. That's just the 3rd hit, though, for the Astros. And Evan Gattis trying to check his swing. He did. And the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. I understand that ball left the bat at 107 miles an hour. That's pretty speedy off the bat. So, you know, you see all these 105, 107, 109. And then you think about Giancarlo Stanton with 120. Now, how in the world is there that much of a difference between good major league hitters and Stanton, the ball coming off the bat? Pop up to Elvis. That's out number 1.
I think because he's larger than most human beings on a baseball field that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, 1 out. Luis Valbuena coming up before he steps in. Let's send it back to Aaron Hardigan for a Mazda game break. All right, Aaron, thank you. Shin-Soo Choo. Good jump on the ball off the bat of Valbuena coming in to make the catch. That's out number 2. And he will bring up Colby Rasmus. And our DirecTV standings for you. Looking at the National League West. Colorado Rockies occupying last place. That's the next foe for the Rangers. Dodgers a 4-game lead over the Giants. Arizona 8 back. And then 9.5 back San Diego. Dodgers have been fluctuating between playing well and having about a 7 or 8 game lead at one point to not playing well and being either tied or slightly ahead or behind the Giants. Colby Rasmus 0 for 2, a pop out and a line out. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rasmus, as we mentioned, mired in a pretty good downturn offensively. He's now 0 for his last 14 times to the plate. 2-1. Rasmus back in. Colby Lewis studying the signs. 2-2. You kind of get the feeling watching Rasmus against Colby Lewis that if Colby threw that pitch 100 times, that slider, the back foot slider, Colby Rasmus would still be swinging at it and missing it.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. It's definitely a pitch that fools him.
He's one that stayed up a little bit. He was able to get a little bit of wood on. And Colby, 91 pitches so far working here in the 7th inning. Nothing really standing out as a real difficult inning. The third would qualify, I guess, as his most difficult. And it was just a leadoff single. He was able to work around there. Fastball called, strike 3. Erasmus got locked up slider-wise and forgot to swing at the fastball. Carlos Correa gets the Astros on the board. His 8th home run of the year. We'll go to the 8th inning. Rangers leading 4-1. Rangers and Astros finish up tomorrow afternoon here, and then it's on to Colorado. 3 days in Denver, Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday afternoon, an off day on Thursday. Then it's into L.A., into Anaheim, taking on the Angels Friday, Saturday, and Sunday before returning to Globe Life Park. The Yankees will finish off the month of July. Rangers come to bat here in the top of the 8th inning, and Joe Thatcher, the veteran left-handed pitcher, enters the ball game now, his 36th appearance. Thatcher 1-3 with an ERA at 3.38. Opponent's hitting .271 against him. Thatcher, 33 years of age, signed this February by the Astros. He deals outside to Josh Hamilton. Hamilton snapped an offer that he was in with a leadoff double in the 6th inning. Came around to score. He pounds this one to right center field. It is deep. Up the alley. Goodbye. A rising line drive off the bat of Josh Hamilton leaves the ballpark, and the Rangers lead it 5-1. Well, the double got him going. Hamilton with his 3rd round trip.
It looks like he fixed that timing issue he was having early in the ball game. Looks like he's sitting back a little bit better. He's got that foot down early. Pitch out over the plate. And you know, when he hit it, I mean, this shows you how strong Josh is. When he hit it, it looked like it might have been going into the gap, and all of a sudden it ends up in Astros bullpen.
Yep.
Look at that. That's power.
382 feet on the line. It just kept going. Well, Hamilton with his 3rd home run in a Ranger uniform this time around. Well, the Rangers get back the run that the Astros got in the bottom of the 7th. Elvis 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Thatcher to the plate. Now 2-1. Thatcher came into camp this spring as a non-roster invitee, signed as a minor league free agent. And Elvis takes him through the hole on the left side for a base hit. Well, Thatcher comes in, gives up the home run to Hamilton. Now a base hit to Andrews. 1 on, nobody out. Shin-Soo Choo coming up.
The Rangers continue to swing the bats well. 15 hits in last night's ball game. They're up to 10 now. Or 11, excuse me. But the difference between last night and tonight, got some guys crossing the plate.
Yep. And the reason for that is Colby Lewis's pitching.
Absolutely.
Choo, 2 out of 2. Shows bunt. And had everybody charging in. 1 ball, no strikes. Choo a single in the 2nd inning and a bunt single in the 4th inning. Last time up, sacrifice fly, driving in his 39th run of the year. And he gets a bunt down. Thatcher has just 1 play. It's the first. Better hurry. And he just does get Choo. And Thatcher wound up when he made the pitch. He wound up when he made the throw to first, and it almost cost him. And Steve Bushell on the phone to Joey Probinski upstairs in the Ranger video room here at Minute Maid Park to see if there's any need to look at that play at first. Pretty much a bang-bang play, but I guess on closer look, that foot still up in the air. It looked like a little bit on that. Yeah. So it'll just go down as a sacrifice. 1-3 on the put out at first, and that's going to do it for Thatcher. So A.J. Hinch out to make a pitching change. A run across, a runner on with one out here in the 8th inning. Change underway at Minute Maid Park. We'll take a timeout. We're back right after this. Mobile tonight. This is from Dan Hudgens. Appreciate that very much, Dan. Thank you. And you folks like to tweet your strongest fan photo. Just hashtags Southwest Data Strong Fan. And your photo might be selected to be aired during an upcoming broadcast. It's all brought to you by the good folks at T-Mobile. Now the veteran right-hander, 36-year-old Chad Qualls on now. He inherits Elvis Andrews at second base with one out. He will face Robinson Chirinos. Qualls appearing in his 31st ball game of the year. He's 1-4. Another inflated ERA at 4.97. Opponents hitting .247 against the right-hander. Qualls, who lives over in Austin in the offseason, working to Chirinos, who is 1-for-2. Ground ball flagged by Valbuena. It was almost by him. He picked it right off his hip. Throws out Chirinos. 2 gone. Chirinos a hard out. And now Delino DeShields comes up again. Elvis staying at second base. Delino, a couple of hits again tonight. He is 2-for-3. He's been on base 3 of the 4 times that he's come to the plate. Also has a walk in there. And the big thing for the leadoff man, he has scored a run. Also has a stolen base. So it's been a very active night for Delino. Getting a start in center field here this evening. Sinking fastball from Qualls, in for strike one. Qualls originally was a Houston Astro draft pick back in June of 2000. And he has made the full circle around major leagues. Also pitched in Arizona, and Tampa Bay, and San Diego, Philadelphia, the Yankees, Pittsburgh, Miami, and now back in Houston.
A couple of teams.
Get a lot of travel money. 0-2, the count to DeShields. Elvis getting his lead from second. He's on the move. The pitch is high, and Elvis will steal it standing up. Well, Qualls got in that pattern of looking back one time, then making the pitch, and all Hank Conger could do is catch the ball and stick it in his pocket. Elvis with a stolen base.
Great read by Elvis. Noticed that Qualls wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention to him, giving him that one look, and then he turned his head. 2001, you take off.
1-2 pitch to DeShields. Even the count.
Look at Qualls. Didn't even look.
Makes it pretty easy on a base runner.
It really does. I don't remember having that opportunity too often.
Nice backhanded pickup and a strong throw by Valbuena. DeShields is gone, so are the Rangers, but Josh Hamilton's leadoff home run gets the Rangers on the board again. A run on 2 hits and 1 man left. Hamilton with his 3rd home run of the year. Rangers leading 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. At the bottom of the 8th inning, we had some defensive changes for the Rangers in the outfield. We'll catch you up on those momentarily. Colby getting set to work to the bottom 3rd of the Astros order. Be Hank Conger to lead things off. And a breaking ball is in for strike one. Conger tonight 0 for 2. He has flied to right and struck out. Rolls over on a pitch away from him, and Odor on to first. That is out number 1. Our defensive changes. Delino DeShields moves from center over to left field now. Leonis Martin has entered the ball game to take over in center field. And Josh Hamilton staying in the ball game. He is now in right field. One out, John Singleton. Had a base hit his first time up. 1 out of 2 tonight.
Colby's done a great job being efficient with his pitches tonight. I think that 5th inning, he got out of that 5th inning with just 5 pitches. So I think that really helped him out, and then, it's gotten him out here for the 8th inning.
Colby has not had a complete game this year, but this certainly has the makings of being one if he has a quick 8th inning. Pitch is down. It's 2 balls and a strike now to Singleton. Colby has thrown as many as 108 pitches in a ball game this year. That was against the White Sox in 8 innings back in June. Check swing. The pitch is low to Singleton. 3 balls and a strike. Singleton hitting 8th, trying to get a board here in the 8th inning. Jake Maristic, the center fielder, will follow. Astros a run on 3 hits tonight. Now 3-2. Our Fox tracker showing that number 5, that last pitch right on the outside corner. Payoff pitch on the way. Line drive to right. That is going to settle in for a base hit. Singleton has his second safety of the evening. He's aboard with 1 out. Maristic coming up. Go down and check in with John Radigan.
Hey, yeah, the team with the highest winning percentage on the road this season has a chance to win another series tomorrow in the Battle of the Beards, guys. It's Giovanni Gallardo with his beard against Dallas Keuchel and that big old beard. It's AT&T Uvers that reminds you tomorrow's game is an early start. We've got Rangers live at 12:30. Games at 1 o'clock on Fox Sports Southwest, guys.
All right, John, thank you very much. Well, Marwin Gonzalez has been pulled off the bench to pinch hit for Jake Maristic, and that's going to bring Jeff Bannister out of the Ranger dugout, and he's pointing out to the bullpen. He wants Tanner Shepard to come on in. So Colby Lewis finishes after 7 1/3. He leaves having given up just 4 hits, 1 run. He has responsibility for John Singleton at first base, but a very strong outing again by Colby Lewis against these Astros. Pitching change again underway here at Minute Maid Park. We're going to take a timeout. We're back right after this. First through the 15th, and it benefits the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation's RBI programs in North Texas. To help, you can drop off new or gently used baseball and softball equipment at various North Texas locations. Visit TexasRangers.com/equipment for more information. Well, Tanner Shepard's on now, his 32nd appearance of the year. He has been a stalwart lately. As a matter of fact, yesterday was the first game he had not pitched in the Rangers' last 7 contests. He's back in there tonight. Facing Marwin Gonzalez, the pinch hitter. And a line drive to center. On comes Leonis Martin. Drops the ball, but he's going to have a force at second. Not much John Singleton, the runner, could do about it, but Leonis Martin coming in, and the ball just simply popped out of his glove.
Don't know what really happened there. Martin comes in, gets a good jump on it. Looks like he's right there for it, but just juggled around in his glove and came right out. But fortunately, it stayed in front of him. He was able to keep track of it. Elvis was at second. Was able to get the force.
So 2 outs. Gonzalez now the runner at first, and back to the top of the order, Jose Altuve. Altuve is 1 for 3 tonight. Altuve's single came back in the first inning. .293 average for the Astros second baseman. Altuve, 4 out of 10 lifetime against Tanner Shepard. Rangers play Altuve well around to the left on the infield, slightly around to the left in the outfield. High fastball, can't make contact. 1-1. Jeffers worked an inning of shutout baseball against the Padres on the Sunday before the All-Star break. Against San Diego, working in all 3 games. He worked a total of 2 1/3 and gave up a couple of runs. Had a little bit of a wild streak in the first game of that series. Gave up a couple of runs on a hit and 2 walks. 1-2 to Altuve. Jeffers in, taking over for Colby Lewis. 100 pitches even for the veteran right-hander. 7 1/3 innings. 4 hits, 1 earned run thus far. His responsibility is also for the runner at first base here. No walks, 7 strikeouts tonight. Altuve to left center field. That is going to be up the alley and go to the wall. Gonzalez being waved around third. The relay throw is in time, not in time. They say Gonzalez got his hand in there under the tag of Robinson Chirinos. And Jeff Bannister is out immediately of the Ranger dugout, saying, "Oh, hold on here a second." And they want to have the crew chief and the home plate umpire take a look at that play. Now, the play was called at home plate by the first base umpire who had come down the line from first on the umpire rotation. Well, if that hand did indeed get underneath the tag, it was there in time, but here's a better angle of it. Didn't look like he got the hand to the plate, did it?
No, it really didn't. Chirinos did a great job of blocking the plate once he got the ball. Didn't have the plate blocked initially, but once he got the ball, he shifted his body over. It looked like he got that left knee down and did not allow Gonzalez to get that hand through. And, you know, one of the things I look for is what a runner does after the play. And Gonzalez got up and stepped on the plate.
Right.
And to me, that kind of lets me know that, hey, he didn't get it done.
The crowd here reacting, and they saw this play from a little bit different angle on the big screen. And from the other angle, it kind of looked like he had a chance to get his hand in there. From that angle, it didn't. And the first base umpire there making that call, that's Will Little, kind of got screened out by Chirinos' body. You couldn't see through his leg exactly where the hand was.
And you saw Gonzalez get up and touch the plate there. That lets you know he didn't get the plate.
Well, the play being reviewed, Jerry Davis, the crew chief, and the first base umpire, Will Little, have the headsets on. They are in communication with the replay command center back in New York. One of the things they look at, along with the slide play at the plate, is whether the plate was illegally blocked by Robinson Chirinos, either before he got the ball or as the slide was being made. Did he not give the runner part of the plate to slide to? And once you get the ball, you can go ahead and block off the entire plate. And but you have to have the ball in your possession. There can still be contact, but what they're trying to do is eliminate the contact. Anyway, that will be looked at in conjunction with the slide and the tag at home plate itself.
Yeah, I thought Chirinos did a great job of not blocking the plate before he had the ball. But once he got the relay from Elvis, you see he picks that relay, and now he shuts it off right there.
And the question is, does that hand get in at all? All he has to do is touch the plate, and Chirinos is pointing to Will Little and saying, no, he didn't get in there. And Will Little, as you can see from his angle, pretty tough for him to tell exactly where that hand is.
Right. And from that angle, it just doesn't look like he got the plate at all. He kind of slid past the bag, and when his hand got close to the plate, it actually hit Chirinos' shin guard.
Well, don't forget now that the ruling on the field is safe. That's the call on the field, and there has to be clear and convincing evidence visible in New York for that play to be overturned. So we've seen a lot of these where it looked like there could be, and yet it was not enough information to overturn a call.
You know, and I think people kind of get caught up and don't realize how quickly a play like that happens. Every play that gets reviewed, it was typically something that happened quickly.
Right.
You see how long it's taking, not that it's a long time, but you see how long it takes for the replay center in New York to review this play. So think about how much time an umpire has to make that call. It's taken, the replay center a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes to go over it in all angles, and the umpire really has one angle, and he's got to make that call right then.
Yeah,
so
in
it's
milliseconds.
It's not as easy as people think.
Jerry Davis listening intently to the explanations from New York and waiting for their decision on the various angles. And now getting ready to take the headset off. A decision has been rendered, and that decision is safe. Well, again, with the call in the field being safe, there had to be clear and convincing evidence to overturn it. And apparently they felt in New York there was not clear and convincing evidence. So the call stands. Ranger challenge is denied. And it's now a 5-2 Ranger lead. This is what they saw in New York.
Wow. I disagree. I disagree. He's got the tag on him, and then when his hand gets closer, it hits his shin guard. I guess I'm thrown out of the game since I don't agree. I'm challenging that.
You're thrown out of the booth for 5 pitches now. You can't. So it's now a 5-2 Ranger lead. That run, by the way, charged to Colby Lewis, so he has 2 earned runs to his ledger. And that's all his exposure will be to runs. Altuve, with the RBI double, is now in scoring position. And Preston Tucker at the plate, ahead of the count, 2 balls, no strikes. All of a sudden getting very interesting. And this is a very good late run scoring ball club. Astros do an awful lot of damage in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. And you don't want to give them any opportunity, especially here at home, to climb back into a ball game. A.J. Hinch's club getting ahead of steam here, and Tanner Scheppers has a 4-pitch walk to Preston Tucker, and he will now bring up the tying run in this ball game. Carlos Correa, not before Mike Maddox makes his way out to the mound. Maddox going out there, and Tanner Scheppers has given up a line drive to Marwin Gonzalez that turned into a fielder's choice. John Singleton was forced at second after Leonis Martin dropped the ball. Then the run scoring double by Jose Altuve, and now a 4-pitch walk. And there's that stat we were talking about for the Astros. 137 runs scored in the 7th inning or later. That's the 3rd most in Major League Baseball this year.
Well, what that really says is that this is a team that doesn't give up. It doesn't matter what the score is. They don't. They're not comfortable just having a lead. They want to score until the last out's made.
And Houston also a club that is 29-16 in this ballpark this year. So the conference concluded. Here's Correa, who homered his last time up. He chops one off his front foot for strike one. And here is the home run by Carlos Correa. 428 feet was the estimated distance on that blast. You can see after that last swing why Carlos Correa wears that protection on his front foot. And he's probably wishing he had a whole bunch more right about now.
Yes, that flap that covers it.
They make Kevlar shoes.
Not yet.
0-1 the count. Down ball to the right side. Off Odor's glove into right field. Around third, Altuve. He will score. On to third goes Tucker. It's a 5-3 ball game. And still just one out. Make that 2 out. RBI single for Correa.
Correa gets a pitch out over the plate and takes it the other way. You see Odor going after it. Odor was playing up the middle behind second base. The ball tips off of his glove there.
Showing an awful lot of respect to a 20-year-old hitter when you have a big shift on like that.
Yes, you are. A 20-year-old hitter that's already beaten the shift 3 times in 2 days.
So, a double, walk, and single. 2 runs across. Runners at the corners. Evan Gattis, the hitter, 0 for 3 tonight. In the dirt, Chirinos had to use all of his body girth to block that pitch. 1-0. Gattis, a .242 hitter, and he is among the leaders in RBI in the American League since the middle of April. Since April 26, Gattis has 53 RBI. Another one in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. The 53 RBI by Gattis in that time span is the most in the American League. And Tanner Shepard's basically facing him with 1 pitch right now. He can't get the breaking ball over. So he's become a fastball pitcher, and Gattis a pretty good fastball hitter. Got Tucker at third base. Carlos Correa over at first, carrying the tying run in this game. 2-0 pitch. 2-1. Gattis with runners in scoring position this year, just a .233 hitter. Got Tucker 90 feet away. Another breaking ball that gets away from Chirinos, but not far enough for Correa to try to advance. And the count is 3-1. Gattis hitting 4th in the order. If he gets aboard to extend this 8th inning, Luis Valbuena, the third baseman, is in the on-deck circle. Jeffers reading the signs from Chirinos. Gattis waiting. There's a breaking ball that backed Gattis away and got the inside corner. So the count is full now, and with 2 outs, Carlos Correa will be off and moving with this next Shepard's offering.
Gattis has got to be looking for 1 pitch here, and that's probably a fastball. We'll see if Shepard gives it to him.
Correa on the move, payoff pitch, chopped slowly out towards short. Elvis has a go under his glove, and he goes into left center field. Correa is held at third. The Astros have scored a run to make it 5-4. And they have runners at second and third with 2 outs. Elvis charging, had the ball stay down and just go under his glove.
Yeah, this is a play here. You got to make sure you scoop it. If you pick up, about 6 inches of grass underneath your glove, that's what you've got to do. But that ball can't get under your glove. See, Gaddis was fooled on that. He comes to get it and doesn't get it.
That's going to be scored an error on Elvis Andrus, and no RBI for Gaddis. But the damage is done as Tanner Shepard is being taken out of the ball game. Sam Freeman is going to come in and face either Luis Valbuena or a pinch hitter. A 5-4 Ranger lead in jeopardy here in the 8th inning. Pitching change underway. We'll be back right after this timeout. Tanner Shepard works a third of an inning, gives up a couple of hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts, and he gives way to Sam Freeman. Freeman appearing in his 30th ball game of the year. He has done a very nice job coming in, and this might be the tightest spot that he has come into this year. Second and third, the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second. L.J. Hose has come off the Astro bench to pinch hit for Luis Valbuena and takes inside for ball 1. Hose last night 1 out of 2 with an RBI. At the start in left field last night against Martin Perez. Now facing Sam Freeman. Freeman worked an inning of shutout baseball last night. Tapper right back to the mound. Freeman on to first base, and he gets the out, and that is the end of the 8th inning. But the Astros come up with 3 runs on 3 hits, an error, and they strand 2. We're going to the 9th. It's now the Rangers 5 and the Astros 4. Your dugout after that very eventful bottom of the 8th inning. And we go to the top of the 9th, and Josh Fields has come into the ballgame to take over on the hill for the Astros. Fields in his 30th ball game of the season. 2-1 with a 2.48 ERA. He is one of the prime movers in that bullpen that second in the American League with ERA. The bullpen unit has been very, very solid. He will face Rougned Odor, Prince Fielder, and Adrian Beltre. Fields a 29-year-old, and now we got a little discussion between Odor and Hank Conger. And all of a sudden, the guy's getting a little feisty.
And Prince out there taking care of all of them.
A little jawing back and forth, and now both managers going after it. And Jeff Bannister telling A.J. Hinch, leave my player alone. Well, it's that time of the year, past the All-Star break, and these two teams fighting for an opportunity to get back into the race. The American League West has gotten a little feisty.
I like a little hostility out there. Get some life into it.
Kind of nice to see, to be quite honest. And I don't mean that in a bad sense. Nice to see a little passion by guys.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just have to do that. And Jeff Bannister knows as well as anybody it's going to happen that make sure you stick up for your guys. Make sure everybody has everybody else's back.
I'm not sure what caused it, but Conger wasn't too happy with Odor.
Telling him to step back in the box, and Rougned saying what? And Prince making sure that Conger doesn't really mess with Rougned.
Or anybody else.
Or
for
anybody
that matter.
else. That's right. And then Hinch tried to get in there, and Jeff Banner says, hey, that's my guy. Leave him alone. You can deal with your own players, but you can't deal with mine.
You know, something like this really can bring a team closer together.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
I don't think Prince was happy with A.J. grabbing onto him.
No, that's not something you do. The only reason for you to put a hand on the other team member is if you're going to hit him.
Absolutely. You get your guys, you grab your guys and pull them back.
Exactly. So, order restored. Now Odor in the box, ready to start this 9th inning after a brief interlude. And Fields missing with ball one. Say one thing, Marwin Gonzalez, the third baseman, has taken the bunt away from Odor.
Yes.
He's playing about 60 feet from home plate. That's as far in as I've ever seen a third baseman play when it's not a sacrifice situation.
If I'm Odor, I'm thinking, hey, he's pitching me away. First two pitches are away. I want to hit it right at him.
Yep. As hard as humanly possible. Two balls, no strikes, the count. Two and one. Again, the problems here, Prince got a little hot with Hinch when A.J. grabbed him, and Jeff Bannister got right in his grill.
I like that.
Yep, so that is my man.
That's my guy. Don't touch my guy.
Two and two.
I think Odor right now has come out of his game a little bit. He wants to hit this ball so hard and so far. Swinging just a little bit too hard.
Yeah, a fiery player, and sometimes they can work against you. You let it get out of control a bit. Fields back to the plate. Very well hit. That is going to be extra bases and a bunch of them. Odor turning it on. It's up Towles Hill.
There's a chance.
Odor is going to be held at third. That is a long stand-up triple, and you don't hear those put together very often.
And sometimes it can work for you.
Yep. Rougned Odor with a single, a home run, and now a three-bagger, his fourth triple of the year.
Got another fastball, just like the one he swung through the pitch a couple pitches before, and drills this one in the right center field gap. This ball goes all the way up the hill to the wall and just sits.
Now here's Fielder now with a chance to add on to the Ranger lead, which has been whittled to one.
A little nice bat flip and just talk it a little bit there.
Yeah.
The bases.
Screaming going around the bases.
I love it. And like you said, it's that passion.
And Fielder fouls it out of play to the left. One ball and one strike. Well, we may want to put a little asterisk by this game in our game logs. This may have been the thing that turns the Rangers around. We'll have to see what happens. Time is going to tell, but this is a moment, the 9th inning of this game tonight. You may want to be able to refer back to this in the very near future. And another foul ball by Fielder. 1 and 2.
Well, Odor was a little upset because he's rounding the bag here, and Gonzalez is right there kind of in his way. And what that does is that slows the runner down a little bit because you don't really want to run into that guy and take a chance of, number one, falling or getting hurt. So you'll have some veteran players, and you'll see it a lot more at first base than anywhere else. They'll stand by the bag to kind of let that, make that runner, pause and slow down just a little bit. Albert Pujols does that an awful lot. An awful lot.
Well, he can take up a whole lot of ground.
Yes, he can.
Too.
And he doesn't, runners don't typically hit him because he's been around obviously a long time, so he knows how to get out of the way. But it still can slow that runner down just a step or two.
Now, Odor at third, infield in. Prince Fielder a chance here to pick up one of the runs back that the Rangers gave in the bottom of the eighth. Got him swinging. Tough breaking ball from Josh Fields. That is out number one. Next will be Adrian Beltre.
Fields goes inside with a breaking ball, and it just dips in about 6 inches off the plate. And Prince took a shot at it.
It's only the second time that Prince Fielder had faced Josh Fields. Beltre, on the other hand, has 7 at-bats against Fields, and he is 3 for 7. Down to the count here, 0-1. Infield still playing all the way in with Beltre at the plate. Chance now with some contact to get the Rangers another run here in the 9th inning. Foul back. Fields on top of the count now, 0-2. Dave Magadan, Steve Buechele, Jeff Bannister, Mike Maddox on the front rail. And John Tolleson, Ranger closer, getting ready. Adrian Beltre at the plate, trying to give Tolleson a little extra cushion. Still 0-2. That's a pitch that when Adrian is not swinging the bat well, he will swing and miss almost every time. When he's swinging the bat well, he'll either line it somewhere or foul it back to make you throw another pitch to him.
Right, that's a good sign right there, seeing him able to get up, get up there and get to that pitch.
Beltre 2/3 of the time able to get that runner home from third with less than 2 out. Odor coming down the line, another 0-2 pitch. 1-2. You've seen the assortment of pitches that Fields has. He brings in that very good fastball, has some cutting action to it, that big curveball. Also mix in a slider, but he's primarily that cut fastball and breaking pitch. Vary the speed of the breaking ball to make either a curve or a slider. The 1-2 to Beltre. Popped up, foul, that will reach the seats. Adrian hanging tough against Fields. Rangers having a tough time still with getting that key base hit with runners in scoring position. They've done a better job tonight of at least scoring the run. A sacrifice fly by Chu back in the 6th inning. Got a very important run home. Odor's home run in the 3rd was with DeShields in scoring position. Beltre again fouling off a high fastball.
Trey's making him work, that's for sure.
A lot of those pitches up, all of them away. Fields, a Rule 5 draft pick by the Astros from Boston 3 years ago. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Adrian having a tough at bat here in a run-producing situation. He is really grinding it out. Infield at the cut of the grass. Field set. The 2-2. Beltre a base hit to center. Odor scores. Adrian Beltre a key RBI single. The Rangers have a 2-run lead now. It is 6-4.
Great at bat by Beltre. That is a clutch professional at bat by Adrian Beltre. Fouled off about 5 or 6 pitches up and away in the zone. Took a tough slider down and away. And got one right there in that hitting zone, that womp zone. And that's exactly what he did with it. Took it right back up the middle.
Great at bat, an 8-pitch at bat that Adrian Beltre wore down Josh Fields with. And Moreland fouls off that first pitch, 0-1. Well, you said it, Mac, a professional at bat in a key situation, a run producer at the plate, and he put it all right there.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the box tracker, and you can see those pitches are close. They could be called strike 3 if he takes them, and he just fouled them off. I need a better pitch. I need a better pitch. And he got one, and he knew exactly what to do with it.
It's Moreland now down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Moreland 0 for 4 tonight. He has lined out, grounded out twice, and struck out. Moreland 0 for 1 in previous matchups against Josh Fields. Out number 2. Now Fields will face Josh Hamilton. We've had the tale of 2 Joshes tonight.
We have.
Hamilton struck out the first couple of times, and Scott Feldman worked him over pretty good. Made short work of him. Next time up, he doubled leading off the 6th. He had a rope into the right field corner. Following at bat, he had a line drive that carried out into the bullpen in right center field. Just looked like 2 different people.
I guess he made his adjustments. We talked about him being, in the middle, in between the fastball and off-speed stuff, and he made those adjustments. He got a hanging curveball and drilled it down in the right field corner, and then he got an off-speed pitch and put it into the bullpen in right.
Lays off that high fastball from Fields, 1-1. Hamilton 2 for 5 against Fields. One of those a home run. Got Beltre at first, 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. Fields tried the changeup. A pitch that he does not feature very often. 2 balls and a strike. The Ranger bench fired up after Rougned Odor and Hank Conger got into a little tussle at home plate. Bench is emptied. Hamilton rips one to right. That is in for a base hit. It's going to rattle around the corner. Beltre being waved around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. The slide. He's safe. Into third, Hamilton. The Rangers have a 7-4 lead.
Nice. That's exactly what you want to see. You've got the middle of the order. Josh is starting to kick in the second half of the game. Got a fastball and just drilled it down the right field line. And Tony Beasley, here's that fastball right down the middle of the plate. And he was looking for that fastball, so he's hit everything tonight. Fastball, changeup, and a curveball right down the middle. And he drills it into the corner. Beltre on his horse and got a favorable bounce off that wall, kind of kicked it toward the line a little bit. He gave Beltre a chance to get around third base. Tony Beasley waving him all the way. Another insurance run.
And Hamilton with a pair of doubles and a home run tonight in the last 3 times at the plate. He has driven in 2, and he has scored twice. He's at third base here with 2 outs. Elvis Andrus, 1 for 3 this evening with a sacrifice bunt. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Rangers gave up 3 in the bottom of the 8th and came right back and have scored 2 in the top of the 9th. And Elvis an opportunity to add to that. Elvis looking for his first career hit against Josh Fields. 1-2. If you're looking to the bottom of the 9th inning, it would be the bottom portion of the batting order for the Astros. Rasmus, Conger, and Singleton. And John Tollison will have at least a 3-run lead. 2-2. All of a sudden, we can hear a pin drop here at Minute Maid Park. Pretty electric buzz going on after the benches emptied at the start of this top of the 9th. Going outside, 3-2. Well, Elvis trying to extend this 9th inning. If he's able to get aboard, Leonis Martin is in the on-deck circle. The payoff pitch. Hit pretty well to left center field. Back and to his left is Preston Tucker. And that will do it. Well, the Rangers scored 2 huge runs. 2 runs on 3 hits. They strand 1. We're going to the bottom of the 9th. Sean Thomason coming on with the Rangers leading 7-4. Well, the Rangers put 2 on the board in the top of the 9th, and they are huge runs. Now a 7-4 Ranger lead. Sean Tollison to the hill. Tollison back out between the lines for the first time since he was charged with his first blown save. That was on Saturday at home against San Diego. In 2/3 of an inning, Sean gave up 5 hits and 3 runs. His first blown save in 14 opportunities. Well, out here now with an opportunity for a save with a 3-run lead, and he will face Colby Rasmus to start off in this 9th inning. Rasmus 0 for 3. He has popped out, lined out, and struck out. And he fouls back that first pitch. It is 0-1. Rasmus, a .230 hitter. 0 for 15 as he stands at home plate. Big part about putting those 2 extra runs on the board. Rasmus, with his power, can't do anything more than just make it a 2-run game. If you don't put those 2 runs on the board, Rasmus represents a tying run.
You know, things get a lot tighter when that's the case, but you know, those 2 extra insurance runs, that definitely has to make everybody feel good.
That was ripped toward the corner. Hamilton over to cut it off. Rasmus digging for 2. Hamilton's throw not in time. And Rasmus a leadoff double in the bottom of the 9th inning. That snaps an 0 for 15 that Rasmus was mired in, his 16th double of the year.
He leaves this pitch up. Rasmus gets the head to it and yanks it down the right field line for a leadoff double.
Well, for the Astros, their 7th hit of the night. Hank Conger 0 for 3. Changeup floats in from Tollison. Conger hitting at .225. He has not faced Sean Tollison, at least in regular season play. 1-1 the count. League hitting .259 against Sean Tolleson. Good changeup. 1-2. The old equalizer. Tolleson out of Allen, Texas, by way of Baylor University. Still a ball and 2 strikes. And Conger back in. Last time up, Conger grounded out to second base. Got Kobe Rasmus at second, nobody out, bottom of the 9th inning. Fly ball to left field, hit pretty well. Back at the wall, DeShields, that ball's gone. It's a 7-6 Ranger lead as Hank Conger hits one into the Crawford box.
If Tolleson was trying to go up for strike 3 in the zone. If he was, it wasn't high enough. Left out over the plate. No, he's trying to go down. You see Chirinos reach back over the plate and up in the zone. Conger's made this a 1-run ball game.
And here's John Singleton, who takes outside for ball 1. John Tolleson gave up a 2-run home run to Yangervis Solarte in that game that he got the blown save in. That was a 2-out, 2-run home run that put San Diego in front. Conger did not put the Astros in front, made it a 1-run game, however. Singleton, 2 for 3 tonight, a pair of singles. 1-2. Singleton, a lot of power at AAA. He has not made the transition to being a consistent power threat at the big league level. His first taste of the big leagues last year. Performed well this year at AAA before being recalled. 2-2. Tolleson leaning in for the sign. He is ready. Got him swinging. Changeup moving away from Singleton. And that is out number 1.
Great pitch by Tolleson. Got strike 1 with a changeup. Came back with a fastball for strike 2. And finished him off down and away with a changeup. I think that's where he was trying to go with Conger.
Now Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez came on as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning. Hit that line drive to center that was dropped by Leonis Martin, but it turned into an out at second base. Well, Gonzalez 0 for 1. He swings over the breaking ball from Tolleson. Gonzalez 0 for 3 in previous matchups. As you can see right there at the bottom of his stat line. Rangers outfield playing very deep. They're in a no doubles defense. As Gonzalez takes low, 1-1. Look at the outfield with Leonis Martin seemingly in a different zip code out there, but I know he's in front of Taos Hill. So.
Barely.
Yeah.
Looks like he's about a step or 2 off of it.
Yeah. There's Leonis. There's been some talk about them removing Towers Hill taking that out of the ballpark here, right? It'd be a shame.
I don't know. That's kind of weird.
It is. Gives the ballpark character.
Yeah, you didn't have to run around and sit.
That's right.
I've had to make a couple of catches on that game. That's just a crazy feeling. You're going out there and you've got to go up a hill.
I bet it is. Yeah, I'll bet it is. 2 balls and a strike. Little tapper down the first base side. Towson will underhand to Moreland. That is out number 2. That's the good news. The bad news is Astros now go back to the top of the order, and Jose Altuve.
Nice pitch by Sean Tolleson. Staying away from Gonzalez. Gets him to roll over and tap one right there where he can handle it. Yes, this is a good news, bad news kind of thing.
Yeah.
With this next guy coming up.
Altuve 2 for 4 tonight. He had a huge RBI double in the 8th inning. Came in to score a run. Had a single back in the first. Altuve just 1 for 6 against Tolleson. 1 ball, no strikes. Altuve at 295 with the average. Sean ready. The 1-0. 1-1. Mentioned the home run that Tolleson gave up to Solarte in his last ball game, along with the home run tonight to Hank Conger. Toleson's now allowed 5 home runs this year. And there's a strike. Altuve looking for something other than the fastball. 1-2. $41,941 on hand here tonight. Towson didn't get the call and didn't miss by much. 2-2. Number 4 just off the plate. Altuve back in. Tolleson reading the signs. The right-hander is set. Chopper to third. Beltre right at the bag has it. The throw across. And the Rangers win the ball game. They turn it into a winner. And Sean Tolleson, despite giving up a couple of runs in the ninth, closes it out for his 14th save of the year. And the Rangers even the series against the Astros, 7-6 the final. Oh, a very exciting ninth inning, both from an offensive standpoint and from a run-in standpoint. Two clubs got together, had a little set to begin the top of the ninth. Rangers